right, hopefully we're on. Or we should be. There we go. All right, I also tried to fix the sound or like the music. So hopefully it's sounding better. I'm not sure. For some reason, the like my microphone also picks up the sound from the computer as well. So that's something I'm trying to fix. Let's see. Let's do some green here. Is this green? That's like bluish. Whatever, it's good enough. What's up, guys? Is the sound messed up or is the music sounding okay? Just let me know. If it sounds weird or if it's hard to hear me, let me know. I'm still kind of experimenting with the sound. Oh, we should probably go here. Why is it doing that? It's not showing. Okay, give me a sec here. I need to update this. Chat overlay needs to be updated. That's not what I wanted. Alright, let's try this. Let's refresh that. For some reason, every time I click this, it keeps assuming I want to right click, which I don't. Just typical streaming issues. OG Vault knows what's up. He knows the issues we deal with as streamers. For some reason, whenever I'm clicking chat, like a new pop-up window comes up and it says like, go to channel, pin message. It has like all this weird stuff that I do not want to do. All right, give me a sec here. Let's see if I can fix that. Happy birthday, thanks. Yeah, it was actually like 3 days ago. So I couldn't stream because I was with my family, different city, didn't have my streaming set up, so I couldn't really do anything there. Let's see here. I'll just redo it. Does it still do it when it's here? I think I might have just lost my chat. It's still doing it. Bear with me here. Like, it's really hard to see the messages. Alright, I guess we're just gonna bear with it. For some reason, every time I click on, oh, do I have to do it again? I guess it's technically a new stream, or a new thing. I guess so. That is obnoxious. Yeah, thanks guys for the happy birthday wishes. Thanks OG Vault, Captain Obvious, Justin. So it's gonna be really hard for me to read these chats because I keep getting an awkward pop-up. I don't know if you guys can see this, but we'll show it. Yeah. So whenever I click chat here, this pop-up always shows up right there, and it's not letting me. It's just kind of hard to read, especially if I click a chat like that. Like, it's hard to read the chat. This is a little bit of behind the scenes in case you guys were curious, like how I look at chat and how it works. It's just, I don't know why this little menu keeps popping up whenever I click on someone's name. Someone knows the answer or the solution, that'd be awesome. If not, it's okay. Also, let's scoot this over. That's locked. That's why. Let's move that over just a little bit. Cool. I can't tell I'm in a noisy place. Did you get Hulk on the drop? I got an uncommon. So for whatever reason, my last like 3 or 4 comic grill drops I've gotten have all been uncommon. So it's nice landing the drop, don't get me wrong, but it's also like the worst case scenario every time. Let me see here. And I always land like ultra rares and secret rares on comics I tend to not care about, at least if I'm only going for like 1 or 2, right? So I did get a uncommon on drop. I went for the common in the secondary, which I think I bought this for 42 or 45. Bought it for 45. Oops, that's not what I wanted. What's the shortcut for this? So I ended up getting that. But yeah, like my last, like, I would say like 4 or 5, like 3 or 4 Grail comics I've gotten have always been uncommon. So like Hulk, I got a common. Where is it? I don't know if like Scorpion is necessarily like a Grail comic, but it's definitely a big one. Yeah, Iron Man, I got a uncommon. Giant Size X-Men, I got an uncommon. I don't remember what else. There was another one, or Journey into Mystery, I got an uncommon. I think I got 2 uncommons on that one. But I'm still happy I like won the drop. I know there's been a lot of issues and feedback and kind of comments on the waitlist system, which I agree. Like actually when I won the drop, I was getting all kinds of issues with like, I don't know, like so when I won the drop, it said I won on that store page. So right there in the top right corner, it said, hey, you're selected. I clicked buy. And the little page popped out and I clicked buy again. And it didn't, it wasn't working. It said it was like purchasing. And then it said like failed to purchase or something like that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It says I won. And then I did it. And then I like refreshed the page, tried to buy again. It said processing, it was still not working. So I like backed out, went back into the store, clicked buy again. Hinano, thank you so much for the $10, bro. I really, really appreciate it. I'm not sure why it's not showing up as a, why it's not showing up as a pop-up. Let me see here. Cloudbots alerts are working, but they're not showing up on my chat. So I really appreciate that. There we go. Awesome, dude. Hinano, thank you so much, dude. I really, really appreciate it. But no, I definitely like, so eventually I was able to buy it, but I had to like back out, go back in, click buy, wait. It wasn't taking my gems. I even went to my account and to see if it actually took the gems. It didn't for like a full minute or two. And then eventually it took the gems. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? So I checked my phone. It did say pending order. Then I like had to refresh this twice. Then it said pending. I'm like, all right, this is nuts. Like I could totally see why this was like frustrating people. When they were trying to like go for the drop. There's errors going on, there's glitches, you have to back in and out, look at your gems, click buy again, like it was a weird thing, or even like switch devices, log in and out. Like there's a lot of weird things people had to do just for this like drop to work, which was a little obnoxious. But I did end up getting an uncommon, so I'm happy with that. Happy birthday and welcome back. Yep, I can't tell, I'm gonna know it. Oh yeah, we already read that. Saturday is always my day away from veve streams with Mrs., but I want to wish you a happy birthday, brother. See you next time. See you next, of course. Happy belated, bro. How old, if you don't mind? I turned 33. This 3 days ago, I turned 33, which is, it's kind of nuts. It seemed like it wasn't long ago. I was like 28, 29, and I'm like, wow, that was 4 or 5 years ago. And it's, yeah, absolutely crazy to think that, you know, time flies, especially in your 30s. So I'm kind of, it's kind of scary. As you get older, time does go by quicker. I know it's kind of like a meme or it's like a weird quote or saying, but it's honestly true. It does seem like time flies by much, much quicker. It's like the days are longer, but the days go by really quick too, depending on what you're doing. But I kind of want to mainly just jump around the store. I did put some money in the app to just see if people would just disrespect like the secret rare Hulk. Like if that was gonna go as cheap as like 600-700 gems, I was definitely gonna snipe one, but this thing never went below $1,000, I think, or at least like below 1,100. At least I didn't see it. I know there was one guy that floored theirs on accident for $1.90 on the market. I didn't see it, but I've heard multiple people talk about it on OG Vault stream and I think on my collectible stream as well. Like it was just on there. And so that's super unfortunate. I think it's because in a lot of countries, they use a period as a comma, right? So when they put, you know, 1,900, you know, dollars, it's actually 1.900. But for us here in the US, we do, you know, 1,900.0. That's the only thing I can think of. So they probably meant to list it for 1900 gems, but then accidentally listed it for 1.9 gems, 1.90 gems. That's the only thing I can think of as to why it wasn't working. There we go. Now my chat's updated. Happy B-Day. Thank you, Smarty Pants. Got an uncommon too, but it's better than nothing. That is very true. I don't know why, but like FA Thor, FA Iron Man, FA Hulk, the Giant Size X-Men, like I've actually gotten pretty lucky with those drops, like just getting them in general, but they've all been uncommons on drops. So I've always had to chase the commons in the secondary, which I don't mind. But it does get, you know, it is a little obnoxious. But yeah, I was really feeling my collectibles or anyone else that hasn't won a drop yet since the drop system. I think I've won 3 drops so far. I've won the veve logo, but I got like a green one. So it was like the second drop, not the blue, not the white and blue. I also did win the Red Hulk drop, which I was super surprised to get that, the Red Hulk drop. And then I also did win this one. So obviously I've been more fortunate than others on this drop. I can definitely understand why the waitlist system is upsetting to people, especially if they haven't won any, or maybe they've only won one, but it wasn't that great of a drop. But we'll see. What's up, Vibes? What's up, Jeff? Again, Hinano, thank you so much for the belated birthday. Even though I got an SR today, I still hate the waitlist. What do you guys not like about the waitlist? That's what I'm curious. Like, what do you guys think would make it better? What should veve do? I mean, in my opinion, they need to implement like MCP like soon, because we've had MCP points for like 3 months now, 4 months now, maybe a little bit less, and it's cool seeing our points, but we can't do anything with them, right? And the whole, I feel like part of the reason why the whole waitlist system was even implemented was to kind of like combat bots, as well as give people in other countries a chance to actually win drops. But now it seems like bots are still winning. People internationally are winning more than they were prior, but there's still a lot of international collectors that are still like not winning drops either. At least like ones that are hardcore collectors. What up, Vibes? Melting yet? I am. Dude, I was just walking around earlier, so I went to the gym probably about an hour before I started the stream, or probably about an hour and a half. And dude, and there's a little workout facility like literally down the street from my apartment, and it was hot. Just the 3-minute walk there and back, dude, I was already sweating. So I'm probably gonna hit the pool afterward. I do have drinks today. Actually, I forgot to drink for Hinano for the donation. So I do have some Tequalia here. And so if people do donate money, I will do a bit of a drink. Sorry about the sound. There we go. So this is full of tequila, to be quite frank. And oh my god, I have to really like move the mic over. I forgot the camera like cuts off like about 6 inches to the right of my face. Probably not 6 inches, about a foot to the right of my face. So I have to kind of like move over for you guys to see everything. But this is for you, Hinano. Appreciate it. Ooh, that was nice. Happy B-Day, brother. Waitlist is boring, no adrenaline. I had more fun doing... Whoop. Also, why is this huge now? Shrink that down. No adrenaline, I had more fun during bot era than these few weeks with waitlist. Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, veve's gonna have to do waitlist. I mean, the sooner they can kind of work out all these kinks and stuff like that, the better. But there's just no way they're going to be able to maintain the strictly speed, you know, related drop where it's based on your connection, whether you live on the East Coast of the US. International people were hardly landing anything. If you just had a slow fun, anything, it was not great. So unfortunately, waitlist is the future of veve. I mean, eventually we will get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of users, and waitlist is the only actual fair way to do it. So the sooner we can kind of work out the kinks, the better. I agree it's not the most adrenaline rushing, but you know, 3 or 4 years from now, when we think back, like, oh yeah, the first 3 years of veve, we, you know, 2.5 years or whatever of veve, we, you know, people were having multiple phones, they were going for, you know, there's tons of bots and people, all kinds of stuff, right? Those are all the stories that are like in a Netflix documentary, right? Like, I do think veve will probably have like a Netflix documentary in like 10 years, right? They're gonna interview a lot of people about what early drops were like and how nuts it was, and there's pre-KYC and multiple phones and rebounds and all this stuff. Like, it's, you know, we're all gonna talk about it. So I agree, but it's the most fair way. It's the only way we can actually appeal to people internationally, because if people internationally are not landing drops like at all because they just feel like there's an inherent advantage to people that live in the US, or more specifically the East Coast, like they're just not going to play the game, right? Which is why I do feel like, you know, we keep waitlist. Occasionally we'll do a, you know, whatever time drop or whatever, but we do need to get MCP going and let people spend MCP points, as well as reward people that are master collector like levels, right? Your local scalper, Jeff, same 69 errors before I went through and managed an SR. Can't complain, but I didn't like all the errors happening when picked. No, it's perfectly valid to complain. You could still be almost just like what Jeff did, right? He's like, dude, it's boring. I mean, I got the best thing possible and I got a free, you know, $1,500 or gems or whatever, right? If you decide to sell it or keep it, doesn't matter. But it's true, like it is a horrible system. Like it's a headache to deal with. And so the sooner they work out all these kinks, the better. You stacking Hulk for the airdrop? I'm not necessarily stacking Hulk. I think he's already done his thing. What I would rather do is, if I was gonna stack Hulk, I already have the full set except for whatever the last one is, right? So I got one Hulk, one, is it Maestro, and then one Red Hulk. So whichever the new one is, I'll get one of those. From what it sounds like, we're not burning the Hulks to get the new one or whatever the airdrop is. Because I remember on the thing, it just said collect all 4 and get an airdrop. It doesn't say anything about burn or anything like that, as far as I know. So what I'd rather wait for is the airdrop to happen, and then Hulks are gonna dump like really hard. I think all the Hulks are gonna dump right after the airdrop, like cutoff time, right? That's what happens with pretty much every airdrop. I don't care if it's full of grails, like the price just always drops. And so I could see Hulks dropping to, I don't know, back to 70 gems. I think they're like 90, 95 right now. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just drop instantly 25% after the airdrop, and that's the time to buy, in my opinion, if you were to go for one. Oh, you're asking about Red Hulk? I could. What's Red Hulk doing right now? Let me open them up my screen here. Let's do red. Oh man, so Red Skull. There's a lot of red. If you just type in red, it literally shows everything that's red, like including all the Harley Quinns, Red Doc Ock, Red Lion, yellow and red. Okay, I guess somewhere in the data or the description it has like the word red for some of these. I'm not entirely sure, but there's Red Hulk. Red Hulk right now is going for 125. He did get down to, I believe, just shy of 100. We can just find out here on vmate. I've been liking vmate more. I've been using it more often. There's some things I like about it. There's some things I wish, you know, that could be improved. Come on. Sometimes this part takes, one thing is that sometimes loading these menus or like these graphs do take a while. And I don't think it's my internet, because it loads everything else just fine. What's the, yeah, I could have sworn these went down to like almost 100, so like 105. Yeah, so that seems to be the case. So just a few days ago, or yesterday actually, they were as low as 107. Now people have bought them up, so. I mean, the Red Hulk is going to be the second thing that gate keeps people from the airdrop, right? So, I mean, if they announce the new Hulk collectible, let's say early next week, wouldn't surprise me if this ran back up to like 150. But it was probably not a terrible investment short term if you're just trying to flip. G Metals, what up, vibes? Had a horrendous drop day. Buy now button, never left, but could never purchase. Captcha in order processing, never received one. Damn. Did it actually say on your thing that you won? Like on this screen? Like, did it actually say you won in the top right and you just couldn't buy it? Because that's what it said for me. Like, I couldn't, like... Yeah, I had to lower it. Apologize. I'll lower it this way. But yeah, so I had to like back in and out, click buy, rebuy, and I wasn't sure. I'm like, am I have to go on my phone? Because I did everything through desktop. And I will say this, like, dude, trying to snipe on your phone, like the market, like the secondary market, it's literally impossible. Like, I don't know how people do it, but I've never been able to do it. And sniping is pretty much impossible. I've always had to do desktop because literally all you have to do is this, right? Like, you go to comics. Let's look at the Hulk drop, right? So there's a Hulk drop. Let's say you click refresh. You find a good one, you click buy now, buys right there. So you literally click buy, you move your screen over about, you move your cursor over about 2 inches and you click buy again and it's instant. So you're like refresh, buy, done. With the phone, you have to like click buy, scroll down, click buy again. Are you sure? Yes. Like it takes way too long. And so, you know, just a recommendation for you guys. If you guys are sniping, I've had a lot of success sniping on the web app. So if you guys are still using your phone, phone is fine, obviously, for the drop itself, or if you're out and about. But if you're trying to snipe in the secondary, like, I feel like you have to use desktop, or at least like an iPad, or just something that's easier to manage, or like a tablet, which allows you to view it in like web mode versus the app, so you don't have to do like an extra step. So that helps a lot. Scupper can't complain with that. I know waitlist is the future, but they need MCP. Because when veve starts making money again, bot era will be back. Oh, for sure. That's why I think, I don't know, I have some ideas on how they can kind of fix. I kind of explained it briefly in the My Collectibles stream earlier today, but I'll kind of elaborate on it a bit more. I think a lot of it's just tech limitations. Like, I don't know if they have enough software engineers to like do this kind of implemented thing, but I do think having some sort of pre-drop, like what Palm does, to obviously have, you know, instead of people that have, you know, bat cows, will just be, if you're collector gold and above, you get, there's 5% of them reserved, which on a drop like this, that's still 500 comics, right? And so what I think veve should do is have 5% of the total supply reserved for master collector points. So people that are just putting in master collector points to guarantee, not guarantee, but, you know, go for the drop, right? So everyone's gonna be putting in master collector points to try and get the drop. And then 5%, which is, I feel like that's been the thing the whole time, right? They've always said like, hey, 5% or 2% or whatever the amount is gonna be reserved for people to put in master collector points to then get a drop and then buy it. Then another 5% for people that are gold and above, collector wise, which means you have what? I don't know how many points you would need to get gold or above, but I feel like you would only need what? Maybe a dozen collectibles, or like maybe a handful of comics. Maybe you're getting, I don't know, 20 to 25, maybe a bit more, like points per day, which means you own like 10 rares or whatever. And at that point you're gold, and then you can go for those drops. So it's like, because right now I feel like 95% of bots are just, 95% of bots are just, they have like 30 less collectibles, right? So, I mean, they're averaging like 1 to 3 MCP points per day. And so that's why I feel like the only way to really combat the bots, at least in that sense, is to have a small portion of the drop be gated for people that are actually collecting. And then still have 90%, I'm talking 90% of the drop is still for the public, but the first round is MCP points. That you put in your MCP points, and those, and quite frankly, that's for the whales, right? Whales are gonna, if there's a grail drop, they're gonna put in a bunch of MCP points. They get their drop, they buy it, cool. Now they can't go for the, you know, gold plus drop or the public drop. So like once you land it, you can't go for the raffle drops or like the waitlist drops anymore. You have to wait for either a rebound or you buy it in the secondary. So, but I think that's the main thing. I think people aren't upset that they can't buy multiple ones. You know, I can't buy it on the market, not on the market, but you can't buy it in the store, as well as like the rebound and this and that. Like people are like, I just want to be able to buy it at box price. That's all I want, at least one. And I think that's what a lot of people are frustrated with. Yeah, so I had rebounds down to a science. Haven't hit one yet on these. I actually hit Nemo, and I think people just wasn't working, which reminds me, on this drop, the Hulk drop, when I went for the rebound, it was at, you know, 3, 2, 1, 0. It said buy now, but it was like grayed out, and I couldn't click on it until I had to like refresh the page like this, which obviously takes some time. Then it was available to buy. Then I clicked buy, and it said confirm purchase. I clicked yes, and of course it was pending for about a full minute, and I'm like, all right, I just didn't get it. Like, at this point, there's no way this thing is just pending for a minute. So, and of course that didn't go through. Had this drop, normally would have gotten 2 for sure, pushing for 3. True. Yeah, with like the old system, probably. We'll see. I don't know. Like this one was pretty heavily botted. But more for everyone else at the same time. Yeah. Music a little loud. Never mind. Billy Bob Bitcoin. Ayo, what's up? LNB bets. I got that order claim notification when I go for the rebound. Kept giving me errors. VV's teasing the hell out of people. Dude, for real. Also had 700 gems ready for SR. I never saw below 1K. Guess I'll hold gems for the next big thing. Maybe we'll look at Banksy. Dude, I'm literally right with you, G-Metals. I was literally right there with you. I was like, you know what? The fact that giant size X-Men, and I'm still pissed at myself for not buying it. I mean, I was busy at work at the time, but I remember when the secret rare giant size X-Men at one point during the drop was like at about 300 or 350. And I even put in like 400 or 500 gems. I'm like, all right, if people put it below 400 or like 350, like I'm gonna buy one. If they like heavily disrespect it, like I'm gonna buy one. But at the time I was at work in office, and I'm like taking a call, and I'm on my phone, like my phone like separately. And I saw for a while it was like well below 400 for like a little bit, and I was like, all right, maybe it'll go a bit cheaper. Take this call and all that stuff, and I check again, it's at like 320. I'm like, all right, I'll wait a bit longer. And that's always your mistake, is waiting, right? And then after I finished that call, like literally 5 minutes later, the next thing I saw, it was at like 550, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't have enough to buy it now. At the time I could have put in more, but I had a budget, I had a plan. It didn't work out, and that's fine. And I do love X-Men. If anyone has watched me more than a handful of streams, you guys know I love X-Men. And secret rare comic of this one, I don't mind letting go. I will say, when X-Men 1 comes out, I will not mind forking over some good dough to get the SR and the secondary, because the, you know, X-Men #1, that's the, even though I grew up watching like X-Men in the 90s, like that comic, but like this one, that one is something else. Andy, Ayo, what's up? Just had had 3 confirmed buys on a Hulk, but only 1 went through. Common. I should be happy, but it was quite a roller coaster of emotions, and I just feel scammed. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, it's more important that VV, what's more important than like the drop actually working, or like it being random, is the perception that it's working, or that it's like random, right? Like, I know my collectibles is upset, and like my collectibles is super humble, super nice guy. I mean, he was livid. I heard he was in spaces. I didn't hear anything, but that's all I heard. But like him, and I'm sure a few others, were just livid at the drop. Like, they haven't won anything, especially any like good comic drops. I've been fortunate enough to land the Hulk, even though it's been uncommon. The last 4 Grail drops have all been uncommons, but it's still something. I definitely think VV needs to kind of fix that sooner rather than later. We're probably not going to get Captain America anytime soon. We're probably not going to get X-Men 1. We're probably not going to get, I'm trying to think of some other like really Grail or like very high tier comics. We're probably not going to get those for a while. I really hope they kind of flesh out this whole waitlist system thing first before we kind of start giving those away. Sniping with phone only works for collectibles that have small pictures. Interesting. I never thought about that. And that's such an obscure thing, right? One thing I do like about the waitlist system is the clarity of how rebounds work, right? Because this is something I literally said like a year and a half ago. I said, VV needs to figure out something with rebounds, because honestly, if you're not active in the community, or if you're not constantly on like Discord or watching YouTube videos or OG Vault or whoever, like, you would never know rebounds are a thing. and there's no indication anywhere on the screen that tells you that a rebound is happening, right? But at least with the waitlist system, it says, hey, you didn't win, but at 15 minutes, and there's a countdown, 3, 2, 1, whatever, there's going to be a rebound. And at that point, it's all based on speed. So it might still be disappointing to some people that, you know, the rebounds are still based off of where you live. So obviously a lot of probably US East Coast people are still going to win rebounds, but at least the initial drop itself is random. So yeah, but that's really interesting that like small pictures have a better chance, and that's something that's I do really hope veve makes it more consistent and not like, I don't know, for me, I've never had any luck sniping on my phone. Just desktop is the best way to do it, especially for like a very, very highly competitive, very highly sought after drop. I use iPad Pro, but the aspect ratio is the same as phone, so sniping doesn't help on iPad Pro. Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things, and I think on iPads you can't like look, you know, when you like log into veve like on your browser. I'm not sure if you can look at it like desktop or something. I don't know. Like maybe you might have better luck like actually logging into veve on your like browser rather than like doing the app through the iPad. You could try that, G-Metals, just as an idea. What do you think they will drop for Comic-Con? X-Men? Probably not. Probably not X-Men. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, let's see. Let's see which ones are left. They could drop like Avengers 1. Avengers number 1. I'm looking at a list of like Grail comics for Marvel, and it's crazy that we already have most of these. There's a few other like first appearances that we could still get. Yeah, we could get like Avengers 1. We could get X-Men 1. I mean, like literally anything could happen. Like we don't know, right? Delilah, thank you so much for the $5. Happy birthday weekend. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I'm getting a lot of love for Hawaii, and I'm feeling it. What do you guys say out there? Mahalo? I probably butchered that, but I used to have a few teammates that were, so if you guys didn't know, I used to play football, college football. And I had a few teammates from like Hawaii, that were like Pacific Islander. There's some that were Polynesian, some that were Tongan, and it's such a big deal. Like, you do not want to get people mixed up between Tongan and Samoan. Like you do not want to get those people mixed up. And that was always, I always had so much fun with those guys. I think there was a couple of nights where I would come visit their place, and we used to drink kava, which is like a root, and they would mix it in like a big cooler with like cold water, and we would just listen to Bob Marley, and we would drink it. And especially since we got drug tested all the time, so I couldn't do anything insane, right? But I would drink kava, and like your tongue would get numb, you just kind of relax, just chill out, hang with your friends. That was a lot of fun. Gosh, that's been like over a decade at this point, but I still have very, very fond memories from people, just from my team. And that's probably where I met the most amount of people, is actually when I played football. Met people from like all different like cultures, communities, people, backgrounds. It was kind of nuts, and so it was definitely like a big culture shock for me when I did that, but I had a ton of fun. Anyway, back to Hulk 1. Actually, I need to refresh this page so I can actually like scroll down. Let's see. So Incredible Hulk. I'm mostly going for I'm not obsessed with Incredible Hulk. I realize it's a big comic in real life. I just got one common. I landed the common on uncommon on drop, but it's not what I'm obsessed with. So things I'm more likely to stack is just X-Men. Me personally, like I'd rather just stack X-Men stuff. So as they drop X-Men number 1, I did buy, I think 10 of these comics. I bought 10 of the Uncanny X-Men number 94s, and so I got lucky enough and I landed the secret rare on drop, but I bought 10 of them, so kind of figured I would get lucky and at least like land an ultra rare or something like that. But statistically, I still had not have won a secret rare, but I did. How much do you think your portfolio will rise next bull run? 2, 5, 10, 50, 100x. It's really hard to say. Like right now, my account is split up between, so like I have 3K roughly in collectibles, and then about 2.5 in comics. So right now I'm split about 60-40. I do think collectibles will pump faster than comics. So my collectibles will probably pump first because people obviously want to buy the cool like 3D collectibles and Hulk and this and that and, you know, Darkseid and whoever else ones I have, Darth Vader, Flash, Daredevil, Boba Fett. Like people are gonna Jurassic Park. People are gonna want to buy those first before comics. But I do think like as time goes on and there's like more comic collectors like on the app, I definitely think that comics will also go up as well. So comics are kind of more of like a slow burn, but they're pretty consistent. And like I really like the fact that it's already an established community. For me personally, that's like my big thing is like it's already established community. There's already people spending, you know, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on comics in real life. And so once we switch over to the digital version, not everyone can afford a $50,000 Incredible Hulk #1, but they could buy it here for 50 gems and kind of get like a digital counterpart, right? If you guys were curious, there's a number 6944 on the floor for Hulk, so if anyone cares about the number 69, they can buy that. We vibing. Pop in real quick to say happy birthday. Thank you so much, Delilah. I'm expecting a 10 to 22x. Thinking about that. I'm not sure I would be better off investing in some lower cap cryptos. Expecting from my crypto portfolio 20 to 100x. Is veve still the way? You know, that's even something I've been asking myself too, and I even talked to a couple friends that are in veve as well as crypto. It's hard to say. I do think that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be the first. They're the trailblazers, right? They're the first ones that dictate a lot of things when it comes to crypto, NFTs, alternative investing, all that stuff. So I do think those will pump first, but at the same time, you're not sure when to unload it, right? Like, could it keep running? You know, Bitcoin goes back up to like 40K. Do you sell there? But what if it runs up to 80? Oh God, I sold too soon. I will say, like, when Bitcoin and other cryptos do run up and people sell it off for just profit or whatever, they're going to want to invest in something else, right? Because they're like, all right, Bitcoin is, I sold it at what I think is the top. Now I should invest it in something else. You know, either other cryptos haven't pumped yet, I'm going to buy into those like altcoins, or if they've heard of veve, like, all right, well, these things haven't pumped yet. Maybe I'll buy into these because I know these have yet to go up, and as veve gets more popular, we'll see. I do believe in kind of like the somewhat trickle-down effect of crypto. Like, as things go up and people sell off, people are going to want to reinvest that into something else because they always want to keep flipping, right? And in my opinion, it's collecting is just it's just a fun way of investing. Collecting at the end of the day, you know, instead of buying some stock or a group of ETFs or whatever of some like no-namer companies you've never heard of, or an offshore oiling rig company, and you buy that stock and it goes up a bunch. Like, that's, you know, you make money, but everyone knows Spider-Man or X-Men or Marvel, Star Wars. Like, everyone knows that. So it's a bit more fun, I would say, collecting these, selling, even though it's a little bit less profitable. It's the same thing in the physical world, right? Like, people, it's just more fun investing in like Pokemon, comics, figurines, things like that, than like maybe stocks and stuff. You can snipe anything on the web app with iPhone and iPad, at least until the timeout refreshes. Never thought of that. Well, at least me personally, I've had very little luck. Like for highly competitive drops, I've never landed a snipe like on the phone. I'm talking like floor, right? I'm not talking like you're buying something like 3 or 4 lines down the list to like just get something, right? I'm talking like you're trying to snipe the floor, like you're refreshing, you're trying to snipe the floor. For me, I've never had luck on my phone. I've always done it through desktop. I'm starting to love the web app. Awesome to see the feed there now. And searching is so easy now. Is the feed up now? Whoa. When did this happen? I did not know the feed was actually here. Dude, the feed hasn't been available for like a year and a half. And now it's finally here. And you actually just reminded me. I forgot to pour myself a little shot for Delilah. Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't know it was your birthday. Happy birthday, dude. Thank you. It was technically like 3 days ago, but yeah. I couldn't do it then because I was hanging out with family in a different state, but my birthday vibes. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks. That really means a lot. So let's see here. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, dude, I did not know the feed was like live now, so that's kind of cool. Parked the Lambo out in San Diego today. It's kind of hard to see that picture. Can you see the picture? Oh, let me go back. Interesting. I forgot you can like tag the drop in your veve feed. View and market. Common. Oh, he got a 193 Hulk? Is that a thing? Let me see. Price and edition. It was like 197 or 193. 193. Is that his mint number? That's crazy if that's the case. And he's already got 1.5k likes. It's been a minute ago. I feel, oh, okay, so the drop itself got 1.5k likes and 941 comments. Okay. Mini or Dumbo? What are people saying? Mini? Okay, I would agree. I would go with Mini over Dumbo. I've actually seen people like live stream and all they do is just look at like Twitter chat or just things on like Reddit. Eventually, veve's gonna be so active, especially on the feed, where there might be portions of my stream where I just go on the feed and just refresh every like couple minutes and just get like hot takes on what people think of like drops or veve or whatever. FE 48. Okay, so there's a number 48 mint for 48. I'm just curious to see if these listings are actually like accurate. Number 48. Okay, all right, that one looks true. Interesting. Let's go. Wow, actually, Amazing Fantasy went up quite a bit. There was like 2 or 3 listings below 400 during the Hulk drop, and now they're up to 400 right now. Amazing Fantasy is a comic I'm like still waiting to get, but I don't have one yet. Quite frankly, I do think the prices on all this stuff will go a bit lower for the most part. Like this is still 250, which is crazy. I think this got as low as like 220 at one point. But I really think these can get down like the low 300s again. Just given enough time and enough Grail drops. I do think Amazing Fantasy can go back down roughly to where those levels are. At least that's what I'm hoping. So I'm kind of just jumping around between different comics. Still $2 for these Captain Americas. I'm still waiting on veve, or I should say technically Marvel, to start burning some of these leftover comics, right? You guys haven't looked. There's a lot of comics. So far, like Marvel, since November, every 2 months, they burned comics and collectibles. So it was like November, end of November, and then end of January, they burned comics and collectibles. So between those 2 times, it was 2 months, but so far it's been 5 months, 4 or 5 months. We haven't had any of these get burned. Like you can see here, the what's the oldest? Oh, Devil Dinosaur. You would think that if they do it every 2 months, end of March would be the date that we would get more burns. Come on, veve app. Oof. veve app is struggling right now. Do I need to go back a page? What's going on here? Did the app just crash? I'm gonna try on my phone. Okay, well, there it goes. I don't even know what I was looking up. Oh, Devil Dinosaur, okay. And that was dropped on, doesn't say here. When was this dropped? It's so weird that I feel like you get more information on the phone than you do the web app. Like you would think like the web app, you would get more information, right? Okay, let's just look at the comments. So comments are from 5 months ago. So we haven't had any comics or collectibles burned from Marvel for 5 months. That is strange. That's kind of a question I would have for veve is like, hey, is this whole like burn thing? I'm not even sure if they're even allowed to tell us or not. But it's like, hey, is this whole like burn thing for Marvel comics and collectibles still happening, or was that just like a one-time thing? Because it's been 5 months since the last time we've had pretty much any Marvel comics or collectibles get burned. Like if we look at the, oops, let me expand this. Those sold out. Star Wars is its own kind of thing. So like Kang is still in the store. And that's Marvel. I'm trying to just find another like Marvel drop. I feel like we're going back, but yeah, this is like Christmas time. So we're a little bit too far back. Let's just look at Kang. Yeah, I mean, there's still 700 minutes, at least of the rare. Okay, so it actually, it does say when it was released. So February 27th, so since late February, this thing we still have not had anything get burned. I really feel like if Marvel wants these prices to go up, or at least like start getting some more income, like they just need to burn the collectibles that are left over. Actually, I do have a wish list here. Sorry if I didn't catch up on chat. Sometimes my chat is just not refreshing, so sometimes I have to go back and like manually refresh it. Starting to love the web app. Awesome to see the feed there now. Okay, yeah, we already talked about. Sorry to know it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Not sure if you covered this, but what is your opinions on the waitlist system? Seen many different views in the community. Yeah, I talked about it earlier, but I'll cover it again. What I think the solution is, and I've heard Sanjay, I've heard My Collectibles, I've heard a few other people in the community kind of voice their opinions, and that's all I've kind of heard so far. Some people think we should reserve like up to 75% of drops for like people above a certain MCP level. Some people think it should be like 50%. I think it should be like 10%, to be quite frank. I think that's still more than enough to get people to feel like they still have a chance to win if they collect above a certain level. Because once we start getting into the realm of like, I think even 20% of the drop is too much to reserve for, kind of go to this view because we're not looking at anything. I still think having 20% of the drop is like too high to have reserved. Like imagine going on a platform for the first time for NFTs or just anything in general, and you find out like, oh, 50% of the drop is reserved for people that have already been on the app for a long time. Like it would feel insanely hard to win any drops, right? So I still think that 5% of the drop should be reserved for just strictly spending MCP points, right? So people that have whales that have a ton of MCP points, or even people that have barely any, they could put in MCP points and try and win the drop, right? And this is like a pre-drop, kind of like Palm NFT. And so once that happens, once the whales or whoever else wins that drop, there's a second drop that happens, and it's for basically like gold and above, right? So gold and above master collectors, which isn't that high as far as I know. There's like starter, then I want to say it goes like bronze, silver, gold. So you have to collect at least some stuff, but I feel like if you have like a dozen collectibles, or if you're earning more than like 20 master collector points a day, like you're eligible. Right, because right now most of the bots have like 3 or less collectibles, or they have like 5 or less like MCP points going on per day. So I think that would be the best case scenario, is have like 5% for master collector points and then 5% for gold and above, and then after that 90% is for everyone else. So if you win either the MCP point like raffle, or if you win the gold and above like raffle, you can't go for the public. So it's just like Palm NFT, right? Like if you win in the pre-drops, you can't go for the public drop because you already won one. So that would be like my solution. Could the numbers be skewed a bit? Yeah, of course. Could we do 10% for gold members and above? Maybe. Could we do 2.5% for MCP point people that are like spending MCP points? Sure. The numbers can be skewed, but I think that's the solution, is like basically reward whales that have a shit ton of MCP points, give them something to spend it on, and then also reward people that have actually collected, you know, people that are actually like gold level and above. And gold isn't that hard to get, but at least you're spending money on the app. You have enough stuff, and it kind of almost gives like a target for people to strive for, right? So like once you get to gold, okay, now I'm eligible for these 5% drops, and like getting to gold, I would assume, is not that hard. And again, of course, these levels and these things could be skewed, but there has to be a level where it's like, all right, once someone spends roughly this much, or once they have this many MCP points per day, at this point, okay, we kind of get, they're committed. They're not either a bot / flipper, and I have nothing against flippers. Like I've been a flipper and still am a flipper for like a long time. But I think like reserving like half of a drop or something like that for people that like bought the previous drop, or like only people that bought the previous 3 drops should go for the door. If veve does that, first off, they have to get licensor approval, and then second off, like if they tell people that up front, that's fine, but there's going to be a lot of people complaining like, wait, I can't even go for the door unless I spend at least like $250, right? I have to like buy Woody, I have to buy Miguel, and then I also have to buy Nemo, and then like Nemo's like $90, and like now all of a sudden he's the gatekeeper to get the next drop, like, and that's fine. I'm not a huge fan of that though. They could do that sometimes in it. I'm trying to think if like veve's done that before. I don't think they've ever done that before, but they've done it obviously on DC Palm with the flash drop, right? Like, hey, if you own this uncommon comic or this rare or this secret rare, you can go for this version of X comic later on. Like DC Palm did that this last month, and that's their thing. And of course, things pumped, and then the second that, like, what's it called? Not the airdrop, but the like snapshot happened for that comic, it just immediately dumped, and that's going to happen every time. So that's kind of my thing. I don't think we should reserve more than like 10%, maybe 15%, but like I don't think we should reserve more than 10 or 15% of the drop for people that are like collectors / people that are spending money on MCP. And I actually want the MCP point spending to happen first, because you know, you have whales out there that are spending like that are literally getting thousands of points a day. Let those guys actually spend those points, guarantee themselves a drop, they get it, cool. And then the next drop, the 5% that happens for gold members and above, all the whales are gone, right? So now you actually have a better chance to win, because those guys have already spent all their MCP points. They have a resource that they're using, which is their points. And if they don't win the drop, now they're going to have just as much of a chance to win as everyone else. And then if they lose the public. It's almost like the whales have like 3 chances to win, right? Even if you have any MCP points, you technically have 3 chances to win too, but assuming you're gold and above. So that would be my thing. Because even with this drop, with this Hulk drop, that's still 500 comics, right? For gold members and above. Technically 1,000 for people that are gold and are accumulating a lot of MCP, and they want to at least throw some MCP points in for a chance to win. That's my solution personally. I feel like if we go more, like 20% is like really, I didn't mean to open that. 20% is like really pushing it. 20% is like really pushing it, but I think 10 or 15% is like the sweet spot. 5% is a little too low for people that actually like want to spend money and get into that like exclusive drop, right? So I hope that answers your question, Adam. More fans don't know how many MCP points each waitlist spot will cost, because right now it's all relative. I got like 2.5 million points ready to spend. Yeah, exactly. So the MCP points is just to give you the option to win the drop and then spend money, right? So I don't know if veve said this, maybe they did, and if you guys have a link, like send it over to me, but I don't think you can actually buy drops. I don't know if you can actually buy drops with the MCP, right? You just straight up buy a drop with just points in general, or does the points just allow you the ability to basically get whitelisted for the drop, and then you can buy for free, no competition, right? I thought that was the point, was that once you get, let's say I put in 1 million MCP points for a Wolverine collectible. Wolverine collectible comes out, and I really, really want it, and I want to pay box price. I put in 1 million MCP points. I win. Cool, awesome. I lose all million. Just remember, if you win, you lose all those MCP points that you put in for the bid. And if you lose, you get 90% back. So I put in 1 million, I win Wolverine, and I still have to pay gems, but at least I secured the drop by spending MCP points rather than hoping that I win for the gold plus MCP level, and I hope I win for the public drop. So that would be kind of my thing. But buying drops straight up with MCP points, that would add a whole nother level of obscurity of like, all right, how much are MCP points worth, like per point? And then there's like a dollar value associated with it. It would add it would be interesting, but it would add a whole another layer of like complexity. So I think what veve should do is just like, hey, you spend MCP points, and that just gives you the ability to buy it for free, essentially, right? Like a whitelist. And then you could just buy it. Austin, what's up, dude? Hey, dude, at work right now. You're on early today. Did you get today's drop? I got a rare. Dude, you got a rare? That's awesome. So you got one of these bad boys, huh? Wait. So you got one of these, huh? That's awesome, dude. I actually do like the rare and ultra rare variant. It's just a little... I don't really care to pay extra. I'm content with the uncommon and common. So I landed the uncommon on the drop, so I was fortunate enough to win the drop. And then I just bought a common for like 45 gems. So I'm content with that. I like Hulk. I'm not obsessed with it, so I'm not like throwing hundreds and hundreds of gems at it or thousands of gems. But now that I have like loaded quite a few gems on the app, because I did load like about 600 gems on the app, just in case people disrespected the secret rare and put it for like $600-700, or like I was gonna snipe it right away, but it never fell below 1,000, so I didn't have the chance. Also, I'm also trying to put more money in Omi, so that's it's always a balancing act, right? I'm like, all right, I'm putting some in veve, but I also want to put some in Omi. I also want to put some on my MetaMask so I can stake it and get the vmate, like, what's it called? The vmate like premium membership, which you can like get some cool stuff. And I want to be able to show you guys those features, right? So, because like for auctions, you can't view that unless you're premium. And then if you want premium, you have to have at least $100 of the vmate token or $200 of Omi in your wallet. And they always pull that information from your MetaMask, so that's always like Could I put more into veve? Yes, but I also want to buy Omi as well, because I am a firm believer in... I do think veve collectibles and comics are going to pump before Omi, but at the same time, being able to buy Omi and like lock it in, do the Omi utility program, all that stuff, I think it's going to be important. Like actually being able to get like bronze and silver tickets is going to be an important thing. So yeah, I got the... So first off, congrats, and then second off, I did get the uncommon on drop, and then I just grabbed the common on the secondary. So that's what I ended up doing. Smarty Pants, you don't get 90% back anymore. They changed it so now you lose all points you spend, win or lose. Really? Wow. I don't know how I feel about that. Give us half back. Don't give us nothing. Thank you for telling me. Do you have like an article or like a link for that, Smarty Pants? Well, first off, I'm not taking, no offense to veve, but I'm not taking anything they say. I don't want to say seriously, but I'm not taking anything they say set in stone until they literally roll out a tweet and or a fully laid out plan of like how MCP/OUP works. Because right now, that shit is still in the air. Like we still do not know how it works. We still do not know how many points it takes to like earn another ticket or anything like that. We have no idea. So right now, kind of just like leaving it in the air. I don't know what to say, but I agree that is a bit weird. I really hope they at least like give us 50% back, because spending it all and losing and still losing it, I guess giving 90% back is still a lot. It really incentivizes people to honestly just go all in on every grail drop. I'd much prefer like 50% back, because if we get nothing back, I mean, the grand scheme of things is still going to benefit whales, but I mean, whales should still have a small benefit. But again, like I said before, the perception of it being fair is more important than it actually being fair, right? Like, I know some people were saying like, hey, when the waitlist drop happens, I want to see how many people are in the waitlist, how many people are being selected, am I selected, all that stuff. So like, could veve do all that stuff? I think they just, I'm just not sure if they have the software engineers or the manpower to like construct such a thing on this website like this, right? Where they're like, oh, you're our, you know, there are 11,516 people on the wait list going for this drop. And you're like, okay, cool. I have a good chance of winning. I actually have a 10% chance of losing, technically, like statistically or whatever. But just the perception of it working and seeing the statistical probability of winning is more important than it actually working. So I totally feel for people like My Collectibles who like haven't won a drop since the new waitlist system has happened. I've won 3 times. I've won the Red Hulk, Hulk #1, and the veve logo. Not the first one, not the blue and white, but I did win like the green and white one, which I did flip. Yeah, like I definitely think we shouldn't like disregard people that are flippers or whatever. Like I'm still, how many points do I have? I'm Diamond 2, so I'm 3rd from the highest or whatever. There's like Diamond 2, Diamond 1, and then technically you become Master Collector, but like Master Collector you need like I think 800 points a day, so I need to quadruple my points in order to hit like 2 tiers up. Like the disparity between Diamond 1 and I think Master Collector is like, I think like 350 or like 300 points versus 800 points. You have to more than double the amount of points in order to like move up 1 tier. So I do think they can make it a bit more of a sliding scale rather than like an exponential increase. Because it seems like in order to like move up a stage, you only need like 20 or 30 more points. But to go from like the 1st place spot to 2nd place spot is like a huge jump. So, and to be honest, I'm still not even sure if they're calculating my MCP points correctly. I have no idea. I just hope it all works out. I would like to at least have something to do with my MCP points. Cool Mo says, vibes. After that big error on Hulk, I got chills are needed. Chills are needed. That's good, dude. Glad I can help you out. Dude, so I landed the uncommon on drop, but I got a ton of errors. The first like 3.5 minutes of the drop, after I won, I was clicking buy. It said it worked, then it didn't. It didn't pull my gems. I backed out, went back in, clicked buy, said it was pending. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? It says it's still not working. So I went on my phone instead, looked at it. Then it said the order was pending. So I'm like, okay, cool, I got it. And then I went back to the web browser, looked at my gems. Okay, then it deducted. I'm like, dude, why did it say it worked? Then didn't work. Didn't pull my gems. Still said it didn't work. Then I checked my phone. It did work. Then it pulled my gems. I'm like, bro, it is stressful. So I get it. I really hope like veve takes this stuff into consideration when they're trying to like make fixes in the future, because I mean, people in other countries, I mean, we know because we have a lot of tech startups and stuff in the US and done a lot of NFT stuff for a long time, but there's going to be a lot of people in other countries or just in general that are not going to put up with like errors and text and this and that, and people are like, you know what, I do like Marvel and I do like the idea of like NFTs, but like, dude, this thing is just error after error, glitch. I've only won one of the last 10 drops and nothing's working, and I can't snipe the market unless I pay 3.5 times the price of the box. Like, just forget it. You're gonna have a lot of people just quit. I mean, that's gonna happen regardless, but I really hope they kind of fix because right now it says right here, non-listings for sale, NAN. Like, what does that mean? None? And that's the other thing too. It always shows you the cheapest price on the store instead of like showing you the common price. Like, I guess they always just show you the cheapest price, which is the uncommon 99% of the time. Yeah, I usually don't like the rare, but I think this one looks nice with Gray Hulk. Gray Hulk? Yeah, I agree. Like, Gray Hulk actually looks really, really good on this. And it's probably because he's already gray, so like putting him in black and white doesn't really matter. But you could tell they actually left in the gray on him. Like, everything's black and white. It's like more of like a deep, dull gray. But this is definitely like, you could tell they highlighted the Hulk and Bruce Banner on this one. So I do like that one a lot. Though, I mean, the ultra rare looks pretty badass too. How much is this one going for? Ultra rare is going for 190, 197. So like my price predictions for the drop were, and I put it on veve Vault's, I did put it up on veve Vault's like price prediction thing. I put the common as 55, uncommon was 35, rare was 70, the ultra rare would be 250, and then the secret rare would be 1500. So I was off by 5 gems on the common. I was off by 5 gems on the ultra rare, not ultra rare, but uncommon. Off by 10 gems on the rare. Off by 50 on the ultra rare. And then off by like 150 on the secret rare. So not by too much. It's just a bit weird because when you do look up these comics, like, it seems like everyone's buying these. People are pretty content with pricing the commons of like very, very key or grail like Silver Age key comics as like 50 gems. Like, first appearance Thor is 50 gems. First appearance of all these guys, Dry Size X-Men is 50 gems. Tales of Suspense, first appearance of Iron Man is just shy of 50 gems, so it's like 48, 49. Even though it says 45 here, last time I checked it was like 49. All these like Silver Age like key or like, you know, key comics, they're all around 50. So I'm not sure if people are just seeing that and just blindly attributing that like, oh, Hulk should be that too. In my opinion, I think Hulk should be closer to like 55. It should be more expensive than those 3 that I just listed off, but I mean, the market's gonna do what the market's gonna do, right? It's in the bold line. It's in the bold line in this article. Okay, I'm not sure if you linked something, but I believe you. If it says it doesn't work, or if like you don't get 90% back of your master collector points. I don't understand why the SR Hulk is doing that circle finger thing where you look at it and get punched? What are you talking about? Oh, I know what you mean. When you do like the ring like this, and if someone looks, then you just punch them. That is so true. Like if you look down there, you should get punched. Like if you look at his left hand and he's doing the little ring, you can already see his like right hand, like his left hand is doing the ring, right? And then his right hand is already like winding up to get ready to punch you. It's like almost there, like he's about to do it. I see what you mean, Jeff. At first I was like, what are you talking about? Then once I saw the picture, I'm like, gotcha. Or is this one doing the ring? Maybe it's his right hand, technically, from his perspective. The right hand's doing the ring, and his left hand's about to punch you. I don't know. I set the link. Yeah, it's not showing. I think you have to be a moderator in order to link it. If you send it to me on, I was gonna say Twitch, on Twitter, you can send it to me that way, and I'll pull it up. Smarty pants. I'm always looking at it, bro. I'm always looking at it too. I can definitely see it. That could hold a lot of things. Yes, sir. When Wolverine? Dude, that's what I'm saying. Dude, I think Wolverine can do some insane things. Depending on the event numbers, if they do like 2 different rarities versus 1, or if they do all 5, I don't know. It seems like, let me check here. It definitely seems like Marvel has strayed away from the like 5 different variation type collectibles, right? I mean, if we just look on here, I'm actually not a huge fan of this song. Let's see if there we go, a bit better. So we look at Hulk, so a solo Hulk, I mean, that's an airdrop, so I don't think I would count Thanos. Solo drop. This is Marvel Mighty, so it kind of does its own thing. I'm trying to find like the premium digital collectibles, right? Hulk was solo. 2 rarities. So if they did like a 2 rarity thing with Wolverine, I wouldn't mind. But if they do a 5 rarity thing, I'm not a huge fan of that. I hope they find like 1 static pose and then 1 like interactive pose with Wolverine. That would be kind of cool. But if we keep looking down here, yeah, again, it seems like Marvel's done more of a, like, the ultra rare is the animated pose, and then the secret rare is the static pose. And I wouldn't mind that at all. They did that with She-Hulk. Just trying to find some other Marvel. They did 3 with Miles Morales. They did 2 with Mysterio, a solo with Daredevil. We'll see. I think the days of Marvel doing 5 different rarities, you know, common, uncommon, or whatever, I feel like the last time they've done that was like Thor. So like you look at Mr. Fantastic, there's 2 of them. Solo Surfer. All these rarities of Thor Hammer. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Yeah, Thor. Like I think Thor was the last time they did 5 different rarity drop for like a premium digital like Marvel collectible. I think they're pretty much done with that. Got my first SR today after being here since 2021. I thought based on the feed, a lot of collectibles got one, a lot of collectors got one today. The other half mad about not getting anything. Dude, I feel it. And I mean, we all knew this was gonna happen, right? Like people that, I mean, the waitlist system is, it's unbiased. You know, as far as we know, we don't know if it's true or not, or if it's actually happening. But I mean, I believe in veve that they're keeping it random. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of people didn't get it, and I think they're mostly upset about this fact, right? Maybe this will prove my point or not. Look at the comments. All right, let's look at this guy. He's Diamond 3. Okay, he's got a lot of stuff. What is he saying? Go back. Who are these people? So, private account. Which doesn't mean they're a bot, but private account. That guy's a master collector. Who's this guy? Wolverine. Dude's got a lot of sets. Dude, there's a lot of like just secret whales on the app. Like until you actually find these people, dude's got 86 sets, 317 collectibles. Like we always hear about what? The same like 10, 15, 20 whales like over and over. But you never hear about these people that just aren't active on social media. They just observe, they just watch. They watch streamers, they listen to Twitter spaces, but they don't say anything. They don't do anything. I don't say they don't do anything, but they're just like, maybe they're active in the community in other ways, but they just don't. Like this guy, Silver 1. One comic. He joined in June 2023. He joined about 2 months ago. Nothing against that guy. It's mostly just like all the obscure like private profiles. Hollister. Gold 3. It's like, okay, so getting gold 3 is not that hard. Just one comic. I don't know, maybe we need to make it like gold 1 or something like that in order to I don't know why it showed everything. I don't know why it said comics. When I clicked comics here for that person, it shows my comics. Like the ones on my profile. I don't know why it shows that, but it's a bit weird. So I get why people are frustrated, but we cannot give too many collectibles or just like reserved items to collectors. We cannot make this platform pay to win, or at least too much. I think 10 or 15%, 10 or 50% is like the max we can do. If it's more than that, people aren't going to want to join the app. People are going to feel like they're at an inherent disadvantage, and people are not going to want to get on. If we reserve more than like 15, 20%, I don't think people are going to want to go on the app. But dude, the real, sorry. Deli? Deal? The real deal? Oh, the real deal. There we go. The real deal. Thank you so much for that comment. Dude, congrats on the SR. I'm not the person to shame anyone for selling. If you guys want to flip all you want. And if you want to use that money to buy something else, because technically, if you buy that Incredible Hulk drop, 20 gems get burned right away, right? So when you buy the Hulk drop, 20 gems get burned. And that means, if gems exist, that means, I don't want to say this, but like, if gems exist, that means veve got paid in a way. But people were duplicating gems before. But let's just say, from now on, if gems exist, veve got paid. But this is all deferred income. So this guy's trying to sell 50 gems, right? But it's all deferred income for veve. So every time someone goes for a drop, that money is burned instantly. veve gets a portion of that. That's money they can spend on paying people, whatever. But veve always has to have money available in case people want to cash out in gems. So as long as gems exist, veve got paid, but they can't pay anyone out until it, until they cash out, whatever. So ideally, we try to get money back in the hands of collectors, people that are active on the app, because the more they buy and sell, the more gems that get burned, which means more money that's available in veve's pocket to pay more people, do more things, etc., etc. So I do see what people are saying. We're like, I'm tired of selling or buying from. I'm tired of buying from these people that only go for grill drops. They get lucky, or they have 15 accounts or whatever. I buy from them, they get gems, they're trying to cash out when cash out is available, and that money never gets circulated back into the veve economy. veve doesn't get paid as much, etc., etc. I don't think we should shame those people, but at the same time, we should try to combat like botting and all that stuff as much as possible. And the only way to do that is through MCP, in my opinion. They do better the animated artwork for 3D collectibles for the X-Men. I agree. I really hope the X-Men collectibles don't look like super scuffed. I hope they look decent. Wolverine's kind of hard to mess up because like if they do like classic like X-Men, like cartoon Wolverine, or even in the comics where he has like his hood on, his eyes are white, and all that stuff, it's kind of hard to mess him up, right? Like it seems like veve does a pretty good job of like not messing up like characters that wear like masks or hoods or something that covers their face. What always looks like a bit weird is like when their face looks off or their body or whatever it is. But I feel like they do the quality of drops in general have actually gone up quite a bit, I would say, on veve. Like Hulk, like Red Hulk looks amazing, Darkseid looks amazing, Thor looks amazing, not Thor, but Thanos looks amazing. Like the quality of the drops have gone up significantly compared to what they used to be a long time ago. Luke looks a bit scuffed, his face. He looks like he looks like a Neanderthal. Like that really strong like brow bone. Like for some of the rarities, it looks like he's just like a really strong like eyebrow bone, but also don't know if it's worth holding. It's totally up to you, dude. I would say ideally if you sell it, if you're gonna sell something, and if this is my thought process, right? If you're gonna sell something, either you're planning on, you think it's the high and you're gonna rebuy it back when it goes low. So like right now, what's it called, the whole comic, let's say you have the SR, sell right now, let's say you genuinely think it's gonna go down to like 900 or 800 at some point. No, maybe 6 months from now, the bear market lasts a little bit longer than we think. It goes through Christmas. I think a lot of people think there's gonna be a bull run in Christmas. There might be, but it's hard to say. But let's say you think this is going to go down to like 900, 800 gems, and you can like rebuy it. You're like, cool, I'm going to sell it, rebuy it, make 400 gems for free, whatever. There's that process, or you're selling it because you just want to free up gems to buy something else. I know my collectible said, he's like, well, if I wanted the Incredible Hulk Secret Rare, I'd probably just keep it, but if I did sell it, it would be only to buy more AF-15. So it's like, unless you have a goal in mind, or if you have something else in mind that you do want to buy, kind of like have a goal in mind of what you want to do. Like for me, I actually have a handful of collectibles on my wish list that I've been just kind of like keeping a close eye on. Some of these collectibles I can't afford just yet, and some of them I'm like, all right, it'd be nice to buy. And when I suggest you guys do this too, like, because sometimes I just forget about a collectible. I'm like, oh shit, I kind of forgot about this collectible and how rare it is, or I really want to buy it because it's a season 1 or it's something I do like or whatever. Like for me personally, actually, let me skip this one. Like for me personally, Todd, I still don't own a Todd. Right now he's a bit high for where I would like him. I do think he'll retrace back down to like maybe like 650. I think he's a bit high right now, but I do think he'll go back. I mean, there's so many of them, and there's a lot of people that stack them and sell them whenever a grail drop comes out. So I think he'll go back down. Another one is metallic red Doc Ock. veve hasn't said anything yet. Marvel hasn't said anything yet. But like this drop is like over a year old, right? How old is this drop? August 2022. So end of August. So end of next month. This drop is a year old. Is this something that Marvel drops once a year? You know, once a year they drop a red metallic thing and you can buy it. The second Marvel announces a red metallic anything, red metallic, I don't know, Venom, red metallic, whatever. The second they announce it, this thing is going to skyrocket like 50% minimum. I think this thing will run up to like 45 gems, maybe 50 gems. Who knows? Because people are just going to speculate, oh my god. And plus there's a bunch of burn editions. There's like 1,000 burn editions. I didn't realize that. But regardless, just the fact that whether you actually believe there's going to be utility or not, it's just going to run up in price because people think it's going to happen. So that's one I'm just kind of keeping a close eye on. Thor, I don't own any Thors. I think I used to own a common and a uncommon, but I don't have either. I don't have any Thors, but I'm just kind of keeping a close eye on the common. Just nice to have like the whole Avengers team. Another one I'm looking at is just the Necronomicon. I think that one, last time I checked, was going for about 40. This one, I think there was someone listed one for like 39. I just like it because I like the Necronomicon. I like the story and lore behind it. There's a lot of different like sci-fi and kind of just fantasy stories about the Necronomicon or the Book of the Dead. And I just like it in general. I like the animation. It's pretty unique. On top of that, the whole Chaosium like IP is like no longer doing NFTs, so it's kind of limited. I just like it because I like it. This is like strictly a personal thing. It's not even like, hey, this is going to be a big thing. It's just like, it'd be kind of cool to have a book that's haunted and does weird stuff in my showroom. That's just me personally. Finn Mertens. He's actually going for, so Finn Mertens was going for $12.99 all the way back in October 20th, 2020. And now he's back to box price, which is kind of nuts, seeing a season 1 collectible go all the way back to box price. So right now he's at 13 gems, basically. He's basically, you could pay for him now as if it was 2020, which is kind of crazy to think of. What's these? So Finn Mertens, and it just a lot of, I'm kind of also keeping it just a close eye on just like season 1 stuff in general. Thor's hammer, it did kind of sound like there might be some veve verse like utility thing where like, oh, you can pull out the hammer, you own it, you hold it, whatever. I do think there could be something. I went with the original Thor's hammer from like the first Thor, because that's the original hammer. I think people might be more interested in that. Some people might want Stormbringer as well. I like the flag. I don't own it, but it's probably like the last thing I would buy on this list, but it just looks cool. I think it would just look cool in a showroom, like a whole wall is just rainbow. Look kind of cool. Much better vibe with the new music. Thank you, Pulmo. I just DM'd you the link. Twitter name is different. Okay, no worries. Anyone else playing it? Anyone else planning a garage? I got cars and posters for it. Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. I'm not a huge car person, but I do want to at least own a car. I don't have any cars or vehicles. Actually, I want to take that back. I think I have like the Ecto 1, and I think I have a DeLorean. But other than that, I don't own like a Lambo or a DB7 or anything like that, as far as I know. So, or a DB8. Is it DB8? I don't know. So my SR, there was 4 listings for 1.9K, bought back at 1.2 for a better mint and some gems to use. Dude, hell yeah. Dude, that is the best case scenario, Jeff. That's, I don't want to say like exactly how I would have played it, because I don't know if I would have bought back in personally. I just would have taken like the free profit and like, just, hey, I'm cool with like an extra like, you know, 1.9 thousand. But dude, that's mostly just because I'm not like a massive Hulk fan. I probably would have just got a bunch of comments, but dude, that's the best way to play. It's like, cool, I'll just take what, 700 gem profit, 800, like 700 gem profit, rebuy back in. I got what I wanted. I'm not a big mint number person either. So if you got like a good mint number, if you got in early and you sell it and you just buy back floor price, I'm not a huge mint number person. I think there's legitimately only like 1 or 2 collectibles I actually went out of my way to get a specific mint number, and that's it. Everything else, didn't really care for like mint numbers and all that stuff. I'm not a big mint number person. Will mint numbers matter in the future? I would say yes, but I think it's going to take way longer for it to become like established, or at least you have to find a very, very picky and specific buyer to make like mint numbers like really matter. What else is on my wish list? Steve Rogers, dude, I still forget that this thing is like FA Captain America. I still don't own one, but I'm not in a huge rush to buy it either. Like, how much is this guy going for? 16 gems to have FA Iron Man. FA Iron Man. FA Captain America. Of course, there's 30,000 mints, so that it's not ideal, but I mean, getting FA Captain America for 16 gems isn't bad. Luke, of course. Obi-Wan, of course. Slimer. I think Slimer's kind of cool. Kind of a sleeper. How much is he going for now? He's going for below retail. So it's interesting looking at these. So Slimer was going for 30 gems, so $29.99. Now he's below retail. There's actually 4 listings for below retail. So these people are actually selling at a loss. Like, I don't care what price you bought this at, unless it was going for really, really cheap after a drop or whatever. But regardless, like, I like Slimer because it's also interactive with the Ghost Trap, but it's also, there's only 5,500 mints, season 1 collectible. It's also really, I will say this, it's also really, really unique looking. Like the collectible itself is like super unique looking, and it also interacts with Ghost Trap. I think there's only like a handful of collectibles that actually interact with other collectibles, right? So Slimer and Ghost Trap. I know the Matt Gondek NFTs kind of interact with like the weapons rack, and that's it. That's, as far as I know, those are the only ones that actually like interact with each other and do like a cool animation. So that's kind of like a cool thing. And then for other, I'll just go through the rest of these pretty quickly. Supergirl, I think this is the best looking like Frank Cho NFT. I mean, she looks the most attractive in my opinion, Supergirl. So I do want to buy her at some point. Silver Surfer, I think people are sleeping on him. Last time I checked, I think he was going for like 42 gems, and he's 60 box, so he's well below box. A 1-to-1 Enterprise, I'm just a huge Star Trek fan. Iron Man, I think Iron Man is probably my favorite golden moment. I know he's not the most expensive or the most like rare or whatever, but he's probably my favorite golden moment. Transformative Potion, I'm just keeping a close eye on that. Like if this goes below or like close to like 100, I'll probably pick one up. Jim Lee Joker, I think a lot of people have forgotten about FA Joker. Like probably the most iconic villain in fiction of all time, and he's just chilling. Doctor Doom, Superman, and then also Boba Fett. Yeah, like FA Joker is going for below 90 right now, which is kind of crazy because I remember flipping this guy for around 900 to 1,000 gems back in the day. I remember flipping him like pretty frequently. Like back in the day, I do remember flipping this guy. And me and I don't want to say Crypto Chris. Yeah, Crypto Chris or Coffee Chris. I don't know. He's changed his name like four or five times since I met him like 2 years ago. But yeah, he used to flip this a lot too. And yeah. For me, I've definitely gotten way more into comics. There was a period of time where I think 20%, maybe less than that, probably like 10% of my actual like account value was tied up in comics. But as I've like learned and understood more about the comic community, what are the good comics to go for, etc. And also even collected some physical comics myself, like very low tier, simple stuff. I've gotten more into comics, so like now my account value, so I have like 3K here and about 2.5K here, so it's about 60-40, when before it was probably about a 90-10 split, where it's like 90% collectibles, 10% comics. Now it's starting to creep closer to a 50-50 for the most part. So that's all done. I actually did land this on drop. I actually landed an ultra rare. This is what I mean. I always land ultra rares or like rares or secret rares for like comics I just either don't really care for or they're not worth a lot in real life. But whenever it comes to like Grail comics, I always get uncommons, I feel like. I tried to sell this for like, there's a period of time where this was going for like 28 or 30. And I think that's because it was like in between the waitlist drop and like the rebound. And so sometimes people buy the waitlist drop and there's a period of time where there's like no new listings happen, so people just kind of start buying up the floor and like, all right, I guess no new comics are coming. I actually do like this cover, but if this thing does start running up for whatever reason, I will sell it. I'm not a huge like Secret Invasion. I mean, the covers look cool, but it's not really relevant, or it's not like a super popular comic in real life. Let's see here. Do you guys have any things you guys want to talk about? Like either like the Hulk drop, the waitlist system. It's also kind of crazy too to see that there's 1,000 Hulks on the market. I know it's kind of hard to see for you guys, but there's 1,000 Hulks on the market, comics. So that means there's 10% of the supply up for sale. So these prices could just start slowly creeping up. I think the main determining factor of like a comic price is after a month, because after a month, the delistings start happening, and when those delistings happen and they get removed, the people that are really committed to flooring it or selling it, you know, obviously relist their collectible, but the people that are just there to hold it or just do whatever, they're just gonna let it go. They're like, all right, well, I wanted to sell it for, you know, 60 and never went above 60, but I'm okay holding it, like I don't care. What comics are you keeping your eye on now? Let me just look at the comic page. It's funny because I can spot it. So everyone, it's funny because comics are fun because every comic collector has their own thing. Like I know a lot of the actual like comic collectors, so I take my shit with a grain of salt. Like actual comic collectors like Comics Are Crypto and My Collectibles and Sleeping Comics and those guys, like, they're like, oh, keep an eye on like Gwen Stacy and all, because there's, to be quite frank, like there doesn't seem to be, at least based on my research, there doesn't seem to be a lot of very good modern comics. Like in the last like what 10-15 years, there's been like a very small handful of like heroes or villains that have actually caught on and have actually gotten popularity. But back in the day, we're talking like Silver Age, even Bronze Age, like there's a lot of like villains and heroes that people like, and now they're collecting those instead of the modern age stuff. And but at least for me personally, like ones that I'm trying to personally stack, I'll tell you which one. So Amazing Fantasy 15, I don't own one. So there's actually a lot of Grail comics I still don't own, and I'm just waiting for a certain price point. So like Amazing Fantasy 15, I'm waiting for it to get closer to 300. So like 300, 310, 320, whatever, and I'll buy one. I still don't own an Amazing Spider-Man #1. I do want to own a Ultimate Fallout common and rare, because I do think like the rare looks amazing. I think it's probably the best looking rare on the app, in my opinion. So I'm just getting that just strictly for aesthetic reasons. It's also just a super cool looking cover, of course. When I click refresh, it does that. So this is the red cover. I don't own any Ultimate Fallouts, but I do think the prices could go a little bit cheaper on those. Maybe I'm just kind of like not a purist or whatever, but it's like I kind of like more like the Silver Age stuff. I'm not a huge fan of like the new age comics. Like I'll get one or two just to say I have it, but I'm not hard stacking Gwen Stacy or Spider-Man 2099 or Miles Morales. Like I'll get the common and like rare to say I have it, but I'm not hardcore stacking those. And like, is Miles the future? Yes, but you know, AF-15, Giant Size X-Men, I think a lot of FA X-Men characters, like they're timeless, like they're always going to be relevant, and like Miles is still new, and like it's a good like price point to jump in and all that stuff. But let's see which other ones I want to buy more of. I already have Lizard, I already have Sandman. I'm just a big X-Men person, so I'm obviously biased, so I might get more Uncanny X-Men 94, might get some Uncanny X-Men 101, some Gambits. Even though he has 20,000 mints, I'm not going too hard on him, but I know he's like a super popular character. Same thing with Mr. Sinister, first appearance here in the middle. There's only 10,000, I think there's 10,000 or 7,500 mints. I think there's 10,000 mints of him. And so I really do think like, if the MCU is trying to push like mutants and stuff, because Mr. Sinister is actually like a genius geneticist. And so if they're trying to find a villain that kind of connects like mutant genes and the MCU and how it all works and why did it appear now, like like Mr. Sinister is like the perfect villain to bring up as like a first like big overarching villain. He's not going to be the Thanos level threat, but he's just pretty much there to introduce why mutants exist and how it happened. And I think that'd be a fantastic first villain. So some more of that. Psylocke, I haven't really bought a lot of her. I know she's a cool character, psionic abilities and things like that, so I might get more of her. Rogue is one I'm kind of just secretly letting go down in price, because ever since ever since Sleeping Comics brought up these like comics that are 7,500 to 10,000 mints, like they just pumped up in price a ton. Like you can actually see it here on Twitter. Like I even put out a tweet right here that says the Sleeping Comics effect. Comic prices have soared since this video on July 1st. Obviously not financial advice. Very humble and knowledgeable member in the veve community. Stop by his YouTube. So he was trying to raise money because someone passed away in the comic community. But like since this video was announced, and he only covered comics that were 7,500 or like 10,000 mints or less. And so first appearance of not Reed Richards, but oh my gosh, not Reed Richards. What's his son's name? Dude, it's killing me right now that I don't remember. Oh my god, dude, it's killing me that I do not remember his son's name. Something Richards. Franklin Richards. Franklin Richards. This comic was going for like 4 gems, then it ran up to like 9. Then Dazzler ran up 54%. FA Rogue ran up like 59%, so she was going for about 5.5 gems. Then since this video came out, it ran up to almost 9 gems. We also talked about FA Scorpion, that was going for about 5 or just shy, and now it ran up to 8. Same thing with Lizard, same thing with this Amazing Fantasy, first appearance of I don't want to say Frank Cho, but Asmodeus Cho. So a lot of these comics just like ran up. I would say the only ones I was really trying to hard stack was like Dazzler and mostly Rogue. I was probably going to buy a couple more Dazzlers, but Rogue was definitely one I was going to buy because Rogue is like a big fan favorite for X-Men. I mean, I like her a lot too as a character. And because it's so cheap, there's also only 7,500 mints. And so I'm kind of more gearing my stacking towards rarity, and I'm more specific with X-Men because that's X-Men has yet to happen on MCU, right? So that's just me personally. Ultimate Fallout Rare is my favorite rare. With that red background, dude, same. I love it. I still want to buy it, but last time I checked, I think it was about like 110 gems, which is still a little high. I think it could go. I think under the right conditions and there's enough grail drops, or if this market lasts a little bit longer, or if veve kind of drag their feet a little bit longer with like MCP, OUP, things like that, I think it could go below 100 or like 90 gems. I still stack the high mint old comics like ASM #1. You never know when they're going to enable burning for comics. Dude, exactly. I mean, it sounds like it's going to happen. We just don't know which ones, when, and how often, and what's involved. Is it only new comics? Is it old comics? Like, I totally agree. So, I mean, that's a good spec play. And like, worst case scenario, what? Like, you have some of the most popular comics in real life. Okay, cool. There's no burning for ASM #1 or whatever. Like, okay, you still own some of the most popular comics in the world. Yeah, the mints are a little bit higher, but it's probably still going to be good returns. It's crazy that the day before Sleepin's vid, I saw the Lizard FA comic. It was only 6 gems, right? That's what kind of blew my mind. Because I actually landed the secret rare of that comic. I got super lucky. Let's just look at my secret rares. Can I do that? Yeah, secret rare. So I got super lucky and I actually landed the secret rare of the Lizard. Or no, that's Scorpion, not Lizard. Yeah, you said Lizard. Okay, so for Lizard's gotta be on here. So yeah, so that's Scorpion. Yeah, Lizard was going for cheap. So I got Sandman. I'm perfectly content. I do want to have like the Amazing Spider-Man run, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I'll do up to 10 or something like that. I do want that run, but I just want one common of each. Like I'm not planning on selling these or flipping them. Like I realize there's a ton of Spider-Man fans, but if there's a lot of people like myself out there, which I feel like there are, they love X-Men. They're gonna want to buy X-Men comics and first appearances of their favorite characters, which is why actually I got a ultra rare Rogue on drop, as well as some others. FA Punisher and FA Black Panther comics are sleepers. I'm surprised. Yeah, FA Punisher, and then I don't know about Black Panther. Like I do know it's like a huge drop, but I feel like it's already kind of run its course in the MCU, right? Like it's the same reason why like FA Thanos isn't skyrocketing in price like in the comics themselves, is because like the MCU, like for Thanos, like his arc is already done. Unless they bring him back at some like alternative thing, but even then, like I feel like his whole arc, everything about him is pretty much done. And so there's really no more hype or anything to kind of like hype up the price. Then again, the people, you know, kids that grew up watching, you know, Thanos as like the main villain, like those could be comics that could like skyrocket in price in like 10 or 15 years because those kids that watch those videos or movies, now they're old enough to like make some money. Now they're into collecting, so it could take, you know, 10, 15, 20 years. But that's me. That's exactly me with X-Men. Like in the 90s, I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years old. Like that's how old I was. But I loved watching the cartoons. Now that I'm old enough to actually like put some money in, now there's actually a platform that lets me buy the stuff I enjoy, I'm gonna put money into it. So I do want to buy more, like Giant Size X-Men, X-Men #1. The only thing I'm upset about is I didn't buy more of these because I bought these at like 13 gems. And I'm trying to remember why. I don't know if it was because I was at work and I just couldn't like snipe enough or whatever, but I think all 4 of those commons I bought like below like 18 gems, and now they're all 50 plus, right? That's kind of like my only regret with the X-Men. So is that I really did that. I just didn't buy more. And I kind of want to follow more of the strategy that like Sleeping Comics or some other comic collectors do, right? Where they're like, you know, because I'm not getting interest or anything on the gems I have on the app, right? Like, you know, if you have 1,000 gems on the app that's doing nothing, you're not, you know, you're not making money on it. But if you invest in something that you know short term is going to go up in price, like I really think, not financial advice, but oops. I mean, Red Hulk has actually already gone up a little bit. But if you bought Red Hulk, because like Red Hulk was going for pretty cheap. That's right here. Where do you have a pull? I think it was going down for like 107 at one point. I mean, if you bought a couple Red Hulks for 107, next week when veve announces like the new Hulk drop or whenever they do it, I mean, it's just going to go up in price. Like that's always been kind of like it's kind of always how like the app has worked. Yeah, he was going for 107 literally yesterday. Now he's up to 130, 140. What's your opinion on Spider-Gwen comic FA? I think it's a sleeper too, since I noticed the Marvel is promoting her more. Girls love Spider-Gwen. Yeah, I could see that. Already bought 2 more Red Hulks to flip when the next Hulk. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's hard to not go with that. I wish I bought those sooner. It's probably still going to be profitable to like buy a Red Hulk now, because like this thing could run up to what, 150, 160. So buying a Red Hulk now and like selling it for a short-term profit isn't like the worst thing. Again, not financial advice. As for Spider-Gwen, like I'm not too in depth with like the comic community, and I don't talk to enough people, and I quite frankly still have not seen like Enter the Spider-Verse or like any of those Spider-Verse like movies yet. I do want to see them, but I've been just kind of lazy or kind of forgot about them. So I think she'll do well. I mean, I did buy, I think, 2 of these. I think I bought a common, and I did actually want a rare, like an ultra rare, because I do like the covers of those quite a bit. It still boggles my mind that this thing is going for more than even some of the very, very high level comics. So like Spider-Gwen's going for 353. If we look here at secret rares, let's just put 350 up here. It's the max price. So, and I realize there's 10,000 mints and all that stuff. So like, but still, regardless, secret rare Gwen Stacy comic is going for more than first appearance of Kingpin. I forgot what the first appearance of this was. X-Men #4. Is that the Scarlet Witch and Silver Surfer? I don't remember. I think that's the case. First appearance of Carnage. First appearance of Ghost Rider. First appearance of Punisher. Mr. Fix-It. Very classic like fight between Captain America and like Wolverine. First appearance of Luke Cage. Of the, not Beyonders, I forgot the alien's name. Banshee. Namor? No way. First appearance of Namor. First appearance of like it's more expensive than all these comics. Arguably. And it's also kind of hard to tell like what the first appearance of, just based off the secret rare, but Scorpion, Rogue, when first time Journey Mystery #1, which I think is Hercules, Avengers #4, which I think is like Captain America comes back in the Silver Age, Vision, Ben Reilly, Falcon, Hobgoblin, of Sergeant Fury. Like, it's more expensive than all these comics, like all the secret rares. So people are really putting a lot into Spider-Gwen. Like, people are saying, like, all right, Spider-Gwen is more expensive than all these Bronze and Silver Age keys, which is kind of nutty, in my opinion. For me, I'd rather just stick to the tried and true Bronze and Silver Age stuff. I have nothing against the New Age stuff. It's just so volatile and weird, and it's so easy for Marvel and, quite frankly, Disney to drop the ball on these characters and either, like, not make them interesting, not flesh out their personality, make it politically motivated. Like, there's so many things that can kind of go wrong with just, like, making a movie or kind of, like, expanding on these characters that I'm not too keen on, personally. And how long they're going to milk these characters or overdo it or whatever, I'm not too certain. But it doesn't matter how much Marvel or Disney butchers Thor or Hulk or whoever, people are still going to love the original versions of them, especially in comic form. That's just my take. I'm nothing against them, and I really hope they do a good job of, like, because I want more superheroes. I want more villains in general in Marvel and DC and those platforms, but I'm so tired of Spider this, Spider that, Batman, you know, Batgirl, Batboy, Bat Butler, Bat Monster, like, it's just all these Batman versions, all these Spider-Man versions. Like, all right, can we get a new and interesting character? That's quite frankly why manga has just been absolutely just slamming comics in the current economy. Like, a lot of comic book shops I go to, like 25 or 30% of the section is for, like, comics, like American comics, like DC, Marvel, you know, some independent ones, Dark Horse, whatever. And they look at these other sections and there's, like, tons of manga, tons of Funko Pop, tons of, like, other things that, like, are obviously not comic related, because that's where they're getting most of their money from. So it's like, dude, like, I don't blame them, but I'm just not a huge believer. I'm just not interested in, like, a lot of, like, the New Age stuff. Like, I'll get it. I'll get a common. Like, do I actually have a... Pretty sure I have, like, 1 or 2 Edge of Spider-Verse. I have Gwen Stacy. Pretty sure I have 1 or 2 of her. Let me check. Yeah, she's right there. So I got actually 3 commons and an uncommon of her. So I got a small stack, nothing too big, but I say it could run up to just below 190 for the next Hill announcement. Yeah. Spider-Gwen had 2 comic runs, appeared in more than 2 kids shows, and people are speculating she could appear in the next Spider-Man game. It's crazy. Yeah, that's yeah, that could definitely happen. The only thing I'm kind of questioning is, I mean, we all know this, right? Like, the average VV user is probably, what, 90% male, 95% male? And I'm not saying, like, we can't spend money on Gwen Stacy Spider-Man, or that women can eventually get involved or want to buy stuff, but it's just like the current demographics of just, like, collecting in general, I would say, is still mostly skewed towards men. Like, you don't see, I don't know. And that's the whole point of Gwen Stacy, right? It's kind of to appeal more towards women. Let me take a shot of this before I say something I regret. I don't mind her as a character. She has a very cool look. I'm sure she has, like, unique abilities that maybe, like, Peter Parker Spider-Man doesn't have, or even Miles Morales. But I don't know. Marvel and Disney need to do, like, a better job of, like, just coming up with, like, more interesting and, like, unique superheroes and villains with, like, different powers, different relationships. What else was I gonna check? Oh yeah, VMate. I wanted to see what's gone up the most and what's gone down the most. Like, I'm kind of curious what people have been flooring to buy the Hulk comic and what people have been buying after they sold their Hulk comics to buy. So I typically just look at this, like, falling NFTs, rising NFTs, the newest. I don't want to care about newest. This is still old because it doesn't show any Hulk stuff, but so it gives us a general idea of what people were buying and selling yesterday, at least selling yesterday. to make up the difference. So falling NFTs. I don't really take Spider-Man 252 into consideration. It's so rare that the price is always very wildly. Thawne #1, interesting. It's down to 2 gems. Marvel Zombies, secret rare. Which one was that? Oh, Hercules. Space Skull, okay. Wow, uncommon Gambit, down to sub 3 gems. Secret Wars, classic Spider-Man, or sorry, like What If. First appearance of Spider-Girl, right? Wow, secret rare Gambit, below 80. Franklin Richards dropped a lot in price because he did pump quite a bit because of the Sleeping Comics video. Secret rare Falcon is actually down quite a bit too. And that's the other thing too, is like, I think the whole, like, Falcon is like done, right? Like his story, I mean, they could make like another miniseries, but he's already had like, what, a series? He's been in a handful of movies. I'm not sure how much longer they can like talk about him or like milk him as like a character or a hero going forward. Miles Morales, interesting. Down 42%. Ultra rare. Huh. I do like that cover a lot. Wow, ultra rare Jubilee, 13 gems? Really? I actually like... I still think she's annoying as hell, but I actually do like Jubilee as a character. She was definitely like the relatable character in X-Men, so 244. Can I just do this? Like, she was basically our connection with the X-Men, like, from the outside perspective looking in, especially in the comic. Yeah, there's one right there for 13. I mean, that's like the price of rares. Let me actually see something here. What's the cheapest ultra rare on the platform right now? Comic. Yeah, it's right. 24-hour trend. Oh, let's go by. What's the most expensive? Oof, I messed up. Floor price. Flip this. Yeah, she's cheap. I mean, the other issue too is that there's 30,000 mints of Jubilee. That's kind of like the other issue with her. I agree. Manga like Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia are killing it. I haven't actually read manga. I've watched a lot of anime. If I did get a manga, probably the first one I would buy and read is probably Berserk. If I like really had to like buy one, I was actually thinking about buying one the other day. Just because I have I don't want to say more free time, but just I do want to start reading more, just in general, and especially I do like the Berserk like anime a lot. I've watched them all the variations, all the versions or whatever, including the 90s version, the animation. That's fantastic. But I do want to read the manga because people say like the story's better and it's more fleshed out and you learn more about Guts and other characters. So it's like, all right, I'll read it. But I still have yet to read any manga. All right, so cheapest ultra rares. Tarzan's, of course. First appearance of, oh my gosh, I forgot her name. Whatever. More Tarzan's, Spider-Man. But Jubilee's the cheapest, huh? People disrespecting Jubilee. It's gonna be hilarious if Jubilee is actually like the key character to introduce everyone like into the X-Men again and like the MCU. It could happen. I mean, that's essentially what her role was in the cartoon, right? In the 90s. But I do think Kamala Khan is probably going to be that Jubilee character-esque in the MCU. She's going to be the outsider looking in and learning about this whole like secret society or this whole thing going on with mutants behind the scenes that like nobody knew was going on. But Ellen Bats, I appreciate you being active, dude, in the chat. Just kind of hanging out, having a drink or two. Probably get off somewhat soon, but I'm enjoying myself. Talking about veve, talking about X-Men, dude, I don't care. I'm enjoying myself. Looking at the market, Look at that, influencers manipulating the market like Sleeping Comics, trying to pump his bags. No way. Is there anything interesting or new on the excited for San Diego Comic-Con coming up? Ooh, this looks kind of cool. Whoops. This looks kind of cool. Hold on, let me do this. I'm actually going to turn this really low. It's kind of cool. It's pretty awesome. Well, you know that's the rare Spider-Man. That's not even the secret rare Spider-Man. You know that's the rare Spider-Man. No animation. I think that's the ultra rare pose, right? Where he does a flip? No. Secret rare is when he actually does a backflip. I think the ultra rare, he just slashes in front of him. It's so insane how minimize this metaverse live. Like this is something I could learn to do, but it would take so long, so many, God knows how many hours to learn how to do all this stuff and like implement it and do. Metaverse life is just like on another level, and he makes some of the best videos. And this is kind of some of the stuff I wanted to do personally. Like have like cool backdrops and like have stuff in motion or do like animation and stuff like that, but it just takes so much time in order to like learn how to do all this or like come up with custom backdrops. And like you said, hope these are backgrounds, new vault spaces. Dude, that'd be sick. We do need more variety for the vaults in general. I used to play in like the vault a lot back in the day, but now I just don't at all. Now I kind of see veve as, for now it's still like accumulation phase, and until I can kind of get to the point where I'm like, all right, cool, I can post stuff. Mostly it's just comics. Like once comics and showrooms become a thing and I can like post up my comics and like do cool stuff, but as of right now I can't really do any of that. So that's sick. Ooh, veve Arcade got a stream tomorrow at 9 a.m. Nice. Did veve get you into collecting comics? Definitely did for me. What's your favorite? Here are mine. Damn, dude, he's got a lot. I see the Superman just chilling in the middle there. That's me on DC Palm. He's got a good little collection here. Yeah, he definitely has the first appearance of like all the really good characters. Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, first run of Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Doom, oh my gosh, Doctor Strange, Kang, Doc Ock, Superman, not Superman, but his first run of Superman, The Eternals, Ghost Rider, Carnage, Miles Morales, Deadpool, Vision, Moon Knight. Is it not Falcon? Oh my god, Vulture, Green Goblin, Daredevil, Venom, and then just Star Wars #1. Cool little collection there. I do like it. Dude, we need this. We need this on the app. Giants X-Men is cool, but wait until we get this. Dude, this one is gonna be a top 3 comic. That's one thing I actually want to see is comic and crypto. Whoops. What am I doing? I don't know what's going on, but I'm just gonna go here. So I know comics and crypto released a new like tier list. Where is it? I guess I have to click on their profile. Duh. Hello? Is this it? There it is. So it says Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four. I would argue, I think they're gonna put X-Men right above or right below Incredible Hulk. I think it's, me personally, I think it's legitimately price-wise, comics, I think it's gonna be a top 3 comic. I think it's gonna and I think they're doing this top 50 comics for the long-term hold. I think they're taking into consideration a little bit too much like real life, which is a fantastic determining factor. But for me, I don't think they're taking into consideration too much like rarity, mint numbers, all that stuff. Like Marvel Comics #1 is still fantastic. I mean, it's going for, I think, 90 gems, like the common. Fantastic Four #1 is going for like 20, 22 gems. Incredible Hulk is going for more. Tales of Suspense 39, I think that's Thor. No, Thor is Journey to Mystery. Tales of Suspense is Iron Man. Amazing Spider-Man #1. Yeah, I really think like some of these 60K comics should be like a tiny bit lower, like maybe 1 or 2 spots lower, but not much. Giant Size X-Men could be a little bit higher. Like, and that's the thing too. It's like, is this based off value? Is this based off rarity? Is this just based off of how popular they are in real life? But regardless, X-Men #1, I think it's legitimately, if we're talking like common floor price, if we look at common comics, floor price, descending, I think I could definitely see X-Men #1. People like not necessarily FOMOing into it, but I could definitely see it like hitting like just below Avengers 8, like 60, 70, 80 gems, like pretty easily. At least I would personally. Like, I don't give a shit if I overspend, but it's the first appearance of X-Men. Did you go for Boo's Door yesterday? I did, and I did not land it, and I went for a rebound and did not land it, so I just let it go. To be quite frank, I was just going for Boo's Door so I could flip it. I did have a Nemo. So I did have a Nemo at one point. I actually landed Nemo on the rebound. So this Nemo. So I actually did land this Nemo on the rebound, not on the drop. So I actually landed this, but I sold it probably a few days out, like maybe 1 or 2 days before the actual door drop, because I read the article and I read that it technically doesn't burn the collectible. All it does is burn the door. If honestly Nemo was getting burned alongside the door, like the potion, right? Remember when you burn the potion, you like burn the potion as well as the, did you also burn the collectible too? For like Mickey and Minnie and all those ones? Did it do both or just the one? Regardless, I knew that Nemo wasn't gonna get it burned if you did the door, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna flip it. Like, I'm not a huge like Disney / like Nemo fan. Like, I like Disney stuff, but it's like, I bought it for 60, I flipped it for 85. I'm happy, I made my profit. And I flipped it because I knew I didn't want to burn the door to get the poster. And I knew that Nemo wasn't going to get burned if you use the door, so door is just a little bit too expensive for me right now. Don't get me wrong, it's actually kind of cool. I actually kind of like the door itself, like the animation, the fact that it's a really, really unique NFT that you can put in your showroom and it like opens and you can kind of like walk through and go to a different dimension and all that stuff. So Zombie Attack News, what's up, dude? Big A, no, it only burned the potion. Okay, cool. So that is so weird that you get 3 different collectibles that have, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 mints, but then you get a new collectible that only has like 2,000, and that's the one that's burned in order to like make the unique collectible. So pretty unique. It still doesn't show how many were actually burned yet. All we can see is that there's 1,986. I guess we can kind of get an idea. I mean, there's 49 Nemos on the market. Yeah. Where's the... Am I missing something? Oh, wait, so Woody, Miguel. Okay. 22 Miguels, 31 Woodies, 49 Nemos. But those are just the only ones that are listed, right? So there could have been, let's say, 100 Nemos slash, or actually technically 100 doors burned for Nemo alone, and only half listed. And then there's like 60 Woodies, 60 doors burned for Woody posters, but only half listed. So it's hard to tell how many actually got burned. Bro, there was a name on here I saw. Dude, the name of this drop. US one sheet. Octo Hussy. I don't even know if I can say it on YouTube. I don't know. I might just get this for the memes, just for the name, bro. Is this still in the store? Yeah, there's 40. There are 40 gens. This is literally the name of the drop. So 60 gems, yeah, it's just going for floor price. So you can either just buy one or get one. Like, I honestly, I pay so little attention to the 007 drops that like, I didn't even realize that was the thing, dude. I just saw it, I'm like, bro, what does that say? That says, it says that on veve. Look what's going on. There's a 3-digit door. Actually, there's 2 3-digit doors going for basically floor price, just a 5 gem difference. 768 and 491 if anyone cares. But yeah, dude, I've just been chilling. I'm kind of more waiting for more X-Men stuff. What am I waiting for? What are you guys waiting for on veve? Like, what's the ultimate thing that makes you just like FOMO in, put a bunch of gems in, and just be like, yo, I don't care if this goes down or up. For me, it's more X-Men, like more X-Men collectibles, comics, X-Men #1, first appearance of Wolverine, so like Hulk 181 or 180, whichever one you believe. Like what is the thing that's just gonna make you like FOMO in and be like, bro, I don't care. Like, I don't care if it goes down 50%. Like, I'll buy the common comic or whatever at 80, and if it retraces back down to 60 or 50, like, I don't care. Hell yeah, bats. FA Wolverine comic or collectibles? Dude, same here. But bro, imagine we already have Storm, but imagine we got like Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Wolverine, Morph, Rogue, Jubilee, Professor Xavier, Magneto, Sabretooth, Toad, Juggernaut. Dude, Juggernaut would be sick. Juggernaut. Dude, I don't know what are some of the other bad guys. Omega Red, Silver Samurai. I'm just thinking of just like any and all of the ones like off the top of my head. Jean Grey. Like all of those guys. Like imagine we just got collectibles of those. Like those would be nuts. And dude, Marvel's been holding back on those on purpose. I don't know why, but those are something else. Fun Out of the Sun, what's up? FA Wolverine, let's go. Fun Out of the Sun, thank you so much for stopping by, dude. And I really appreciate your support. You stopping by, saying hi, all that stuff. Did you win anything today, Fun Out of the Sun? Did you get the whole comic? Did you buy in the secondary? What'd you do? I'm actually curious. I see you all the time in other people's streams and stuff, so I'm curious what you're up to. For me, I just got the uncommon on drop and I got the common in the secondary. You got an L? No. Damn, bro. We should complain to BB and you should get a free comic. Dude, I totally get it. People that are upset with the waitlist drop, dude, I totally get it. If I got 0 out of 7 since waitlist, I would be pissed too. I get it. But veve needs to implement MCP, point usage, reserving a small portion of the drop for gold or even like whatever level users. They need to do that sooner rather than later. Because if you're, and I think we need to reserve no more than 10%, 15% at max. We don't need to reserve 75, because I think that's, I don't want to misspeak or kind of but I could have sworn Mr. MC1 said, I don't know if it was on Randy's stream or maybe it was in Spaces, but I thought he said something like 75 or like 50% of drops should have been reserved for like people of a certain level. I'm like, bro, that is too high. I think it should be like 10% max. We have to. I don't know if you guys have ever done sales in general, but like new clients, new people coming in is the lifeblood of your like, I don't know, you call it your resource funnel or whatever it is. We have to have new people coming in constantly. And if the drops themselves or the platform or whatever is literally unfair to an extreme case to new people, they're just not going to join. They're just not going to do it. So we have to give like a small advantage for people that are on the app, that are master collectors, that have a bunch of MCP points, or that are above like gold 1 or whatever, but we cannot have like 25, 50, 75% of the drop like reserved for people. Like that's just never going to fly with people. If the Wolverine collectible has animation where the claws come in and out, bro, take my money, dude, same. If he does like a Berserker Fury, bro, like he takes out his claws and he does like a crazy animation. That's a tornado claw, something crazy, like some like Marvel versus Capcom animation, bro. Instantly $700 collectible, like instantly. Dude, I would do that. I would take that instantly. Didn't buy anything yet? Yeah, dude, I really think you could, I definitely think Hulks could retrace a little bit. There's actually quite a few on the market. I mean, there's 1,000 Hulks right now. We just looked right here. So there's 1,000 Hulks in the market. It's just going to keep going down, right? As the weeks go on. And then especially when a month rolls around, a lot of them are going to get delisted. So, I mean, buy one for 50 isn't bad. I bought mine at 45 and it's just been kind of chilling at 50. So I can't see this going below Thor or Iron Man or anything like that. So I think, you know, not financial advice, but buying at 50 just to say you have it it's not a terrible thing. Hopefully they'll have big drops coming during Comic-Con. Are you going to San Diego? I am not, personally. Appreciate you, but of course. Thank you so much for the $5, and I'll go ahead and take a drink on your behalf. This is more, so it's in a flask because this is a bit more tequila. It's in a flask because my friend a couple weeks ago, we went on a boat and we went to Lake Pleasant here in Arizona, and he said no glass, and I was like, okay. So I poured it into a flask like this, and so I poured a bunch of tequila in there. We drank, I don't know, maybe half of it, whatever. So there's still plenty left in here. Yeah, this is for you. Fun under the sun. Thank you so much for the $5. Oh boy. Ooh. That'll put some hair on your chest. Yeah, Hulk is looking good right now. What's like Hulk doing? You know what I mean? Like, Hulk. What's Hulk doing? 95 gems. The real question is, how far back is this going to retrace after the airdrop? So we released a new Hulk drop, right? Let's say it's World Breaker Hulk or it's something random. Doesn't matter. Whatever the new Hulk drop is, we buy it, and then they say, hey, a week from now, we're going to do the airdrop. If you own all four Hulks by X date, you get an airdrop. When that date comes and goes, I really feel like this Hulk, let's assume it just stays the same price right now. I really feel like it could go back down to like 80, probably 75. I think 70 is too low. That's too close to box price. So I do think this could go down like 20 gems. People just undercutting super hard. People just using it for the airdrop. Same thing will happen with Maestro and Red Hulk. Don't get me wrong, but that is like, if you want to buy Hulks, I mean, it's at 95. I would just wait. I would just wait until the airdrop happens and then just buy it afterward. And as far as I know, you don't have to burn any Hulks for the airdrop either, so you get to keep your sets. It's just like, hey, if you have it, cool. If not, you just don't get the set. Do you have any speculation on what the Comic-Con drops will be? Bro, I have no idea. It could be anything. Last year's Comic-Con drops were... See if you can find them here. Comic, collectible, no. Let's do store drops. I have to refresh this page. We have to go back for a little bit. What were the Comic-Con drops last year? I remember it was the Spider-Man poster when they were all on the beach, just like hanging out and stuff. So that was a while back. This one. No, this is New York Comic-Con, not San Diego Comic-Con. August. May 15. I feel like this was there it is, San Diego Comic-Con. So San Diego Comic-Con, it's around here, so July 20th. It was a different time last year. I mean, last year they did what? A poster, chimichangas, a below average job. They did have Silver Surfer, as well as the Tesseract. So I remember this weekend, I remember this happening. So I don't know. So what I'm assuming is like, I mean, if we're following the same formula, like a Marvel Mighty, a poster, a comic, and then a collectible from Marvel. And this is all Marvel too, right? Like there's no Star Wars, there's no Disney, there's no independent artists. This is all Marvel. So this is like Marvel's time, right? So what I'm assuming, and if we're just following the same formula, Marvel Mighty, poster, comic, and then a collectible. Tesseract was kind of its own thing. That was technically the Tesseract was the very first Infinity Stone, right? Yeah, that was like the first one. Yeah, that was like the first Infinity Stone. Or no. Actually, Eye of Agamotto was the first Infinity Stone. Regardless, that is my thing. Marvel Mighties. If we get X-Men Marvel Mighties, that would be sick. If we get I mean, if the poster looks really, really cool, I'll buy it. I'm not a huge, like I said, I love Spider-Man. I'm not obsessed with him to the level of X-Men. They'll probably give us another like maybe C or like B tier comic, and they'll give us kind of a pseudo popular, because like Silver Surfer is super popular in like the comic community, but like to the masses, like most people don't know who he is or don't really care, which is why he's actually on my watch list. Like if this guy goes below 40, no, if he goes below like 35 gems, like I'm definitely gonna scoop him personally. So that's my thing. I think we're either gonna get X-Men, we could get some like more Spider-Gwen or Miles Morales or like Spider-Verse type stuff. So we could get that with San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely gonna revolve around Marvel somehow. I mean, as much as I want it to be revolved around X-Men, I don't think it's gonna be X-Men related stuff. I think it's gonna be more Spider-Man, more along those lines, personally. And plus a Marvel Mighty or whatever. We're gonna have Marvel Mighties. I think at San Diego and New York. Let's look at the New York one. New York Comic-Con. So this is the New York Comic-Con. Interesting. Okay, so they didn't do Marvel Mighties for New York, but we both know, looking at the Marvel booths at both New York and San Diego, they had Marvel Mighty stuff, right? So we're gonna get Marvel Mighties either at New York or San Diego, so expect more of that. Daredevil was pretty sick. The burned editions of this helped it a lot. Almost makes me curious, what's Daredevil at right now? 58. Okay, so I bought one at 55, which is a little bit high, but he was on my watch list for a while, and I just bought one because I'm like, he's a pretty popular character, like the comic collecting community, especially his like first appearance comic and all that. And like, I mean, you look here, like there's only 2,500 of these Daredevil. There's 3,300 burned and then 2,500 available. At least we know they'll drop a life-size character. That would be ideal. And if they don't, they might wait till New York to do it. If that's the case. All we can do is... I mean, all we know is the one thing, right? So there's a New York Comic Con, San Diego. I mean, two things that happen back to back is a pattern, and then 3 is a trend, right? So we can say, okay, the last 2 Comic Cons, whatever, they dropped like a life-size collectible, and then they did a Marvel Mighty plus a poster and a comic. Okay, cool. But we really won't know until like next year if there's like actually a trend. So like one time is cool. Second time, I'm trying to remember the term. I don't know if it's like second time is a coincidence. The third time is like a trend or like a pattern. But so far, the only information we can go off of is what happened last year. So that would be my guesstimation. I think we're gonna get more Spider-Man stuff because it definitely seems like Marvel's trying to push Spider-Verse stuff, or we can get like some Marvels. I know the Marvels movie is coming out, or it already has, right? Like the Marvels movie. The Marvels. We could get the Marvel stuff, so we could get like Carol Danvers, we could get Kamala Khan, we could get those people. I'm not entirely sure. We also could get like Sergeant Fury. I know he's in the movie quite a bit. So it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know. It could literally be anything. I would love more X-Men, but if they don't do it, I don't blame them. It seems like X-Men is coming out with all X-Men comics lately. It's coming out with all X-Men comics lately. We have been getting some more X-Men comics recently. Let's take a look at the store. Comics. X-Men. Spider-Man. Yeah, very recently. I mean, we've gotten what? 1, 2, 3 X-Men comics back to back to back. So that's kind of cool. It's been a while. X-Men back here. Yeah. I mean, and then X-Men here. Yeah, I would say so. Still waiting for X-Men #1. Still waiting for Hulk 181 or 180. I'll take either one. Like, I'll buy both. And then there's a lot of like villains and superheroes that I want to see personally. Are there any comics or collectibles you guys are keeping your eyes on? Or you guys want me to look at? Look at the market. What's the market doing? Dude, some of these numbers I feel like aren't accurate. Dude, I'm a little bit... Okay, what's your guys' feeling on the veve blue and white logo? What's your guys' feeling on the blue and white logo on veve? They increased the mints to help, you know, obviously fulfill the airdrops that people were promised like months and months and months and months. Like, I mean, almost a year ago at this point. What's your guys' feeling on that? 7-day. It's hard to believe that this thing was going for 300 gems at one point. Now it's almost, I mean, I bought mine at 150. And now it's, if I sold it right now, it would be barely profitable. And I don't mind. Like, I really do think the veve blue and white logo is a grail. Given enough time, once veve becomes a household name, the blue and white logo, that is the original logo. That is going to be a grail drop or a grail collectible. But short term, yeah, 1,204 editions, people are going to be upset, but I'm kind of curious what people think about it. I also need to buy some Omi on my freaking MetaMask, so. Are any of you guys also on vmade at all? Unfortunately, ecomi.wiki kind of like shut down a while ago, and I think Omi the Clown is no longer supporting the platform. So I mean, I'm here for you guys, including myself. Like, I'm always going to use the platform that I feel like is going to best serve you guys as well as myself. I also thought about getting like a membership on Cherry Charts, just so we can kind of get a look at that as well. because they do have some cool stuff on there. Because I don't think you can use any of the services until you're actually subbed. Or until you actually have like an account or whatever. The slabs look cool. I'm not sure. I haven't really used any of their charting services because I think you have to pay in order to look at their charting services. I'm sure there'll be some utility to it. It doesn't bother me at all that they increase the mint numbers. Makes it cheaper for people to buy. That's very true. It's actually very true. I never thought of it. I wouldn't say I never thought of it that way, but that's very true. So people do want the blue and white logo. Go for it. I do think it's going to be a Grail drop because that's the original logo, right? Imagine if Amazon dropped a utility NFT, because we're still waiting on like the Amazon NFTs, right? As far as I know, that stuff still hasn't happened, or it's yet to happen. Imagine if Amazon dropped a utility NFT that it literally just says Amazon. The NFT just says Amazon. It's similar format, 3D looking name or whatever. And if you own that, you get, I don't know, 2% off of all transactions on their platform. You don't think people are going to spend hundreds, thousands of dollars on that? Possibly. So if you think that all these IPs are going to explode on veve, but not veve itself, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense in my opinion. So, and also the veve logo itself is also its own independent collectible and set and everything like that. So I do think veve might have something set aside for these. I got a Decon veve logo drop, mint 0123 and then 888. Was expecting something unique, not an increase in mint size of the original one. Ours was supposed to be a special being of the kickoff event. Still happy with it. Yeah, I mean, you got some sick mint numbers. It almost seems like, because I know Rob's stuff got a 420 mint. You got a 0123, you got an 888. It almost seems like they reserved like really unique mint. I'm not saying this, but the fact that you got those really unique mint numbers, 0123, 888, Rob stuff got 420. I haven't looked at other people that got theirs, but if you guys got some unique mint numbers, that's kind of cool, to be honest. I don't think in the future, I hope veve isn't reserving like unique mint numbers for specific people or like MCP or whatever. But I mean, we're still talking less than 12. I mean, we're still talking 1,200 mints, right? That's still very, very low in the grand scheme of things. If we're talking a year or two from now, hopefully when veve has what? Because right now veve has what, like 5, 6? Definitely less than 5-figure active users, right? Less than 10,000. I'm talking like people that are actually collecting, buying, selling, being active on the platform, like less than 5 figures. So like less than 10,000 people. Eventually, when we do get to 6 figures, so let's say 100,000 people, could take 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, who knows? 1,200 mints is not going to make a damn difference. So that's cool, dude. I'm really excited that you got. Dude, those are some cool mints too. And I know 888 is like a very popular. Is that like a lucky number, or it's like a Southeast Asian thing? It's like an angel number or something, right? Let's see here. I'll show you guys. 888 numbers are toll free. No, that's not what I want. Isn't it lucky, or there's something weird about it? Okay, here we go. Bear with me. Okay, so let's zoom in here a little bit. In Chinese numerology, 8888, so 3 8s, usually means triple fortune as a form of strengthening of digit 8. All right, maybe we'll just expand on this. 888 is a, dude, what the hell does that say? Reptigit? Okay, so okay, whatever, just like sequential numbers. Dude, what? Dude, trying to read this on Wikipedia makes no sense. Long story short, the number 888 is often symbolized within the international labor movement to symbolize the 8-hour day. What, dude, what's this? 8 hours work, 8 hours work, 8 hours rest, and 8 hours time to themselves. Some Christian numerology, 888 versus Jesus. Okay. Okay, so 888, so 8 represents rich in Cantonese. Okay. Forgot that 0888 is a lucky number if I remember. Yeah, so it's not 08, but just any form of 888, remember, is a symbol of richness. I don't know why, but like when he said that joke, my mind immediately went to like a joke that I heard from like a comedian or whatever. It's like, oh, is that why, like you said, it was the Cantonese, or people that speak Cantonese, when they go to the US, they always try to find a city name like Richmond or something like oh, like if you live there, clearly you'll be rich because it's called Richmond or whatever. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's like zip code or area code like 888 or something weird. I don't know, but something about something about my mind just like went there immediately. But dude, I mean, those aren't like, if 99% of people on veve would look at those numbers and be like, yeah, I can see why people would pay extra for that. So when you see 0123 0888 99% of people will be like, all right, yeah, I can see why people would pay extra for that. And that's the main goal, right? Or that's like the main thing, where it's not just, okay, this means nothing to nobody. It's just like, if you can get people in the community to unanimously agree that, okay, this is a mint number that could be coveted by other people, that's what gives it value. It's the perception of value rather than the value itself. Same thing with like the veve, the veve drops, right? People want to feel like they have a chance at winning. I can almost guarantee you, if like my collective, I had to bring him up because, I mean, obviously he was streaming earlier. He's obviously voicing his frustrations with the waitlist drop, but if there was just something on here that just said, hey, there are 15,000 people going for this drop. You have a 50-50 chance of winning this, or 33% or a 66% chance of winning it. That would probably put him more at ease than just saying, hey, you didn't win. And there's no context, there's no way to increase the chances, there's nothing to correlate to it that just, other than just, hey, you won or you lost, right? Because I've won about 50% of the drops for waitlist, and he hasn't won any. So I totally get his frustration. So if you could implement something like that, and I really think it's just a tech limitation. I'm not sure if they have the software engineers or the people or whoever to implement something like that in such short order. I'm sure, like, even if they started working on it today, because the Hulk drop was today, even if they told their people like, hey, we're going to work on it today, we want people to see how many people are going for it, what their chances are, blah, 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 that would still take months, like months and months and months and months for them to work on it and enable us to do something like that. So, well, we're at sub 1,000 Hulks. What's the common at? Common's at 52, dude. It's kind of creeping up a little, bro. Like, dude, the uncommons are getting choke slammed on the app. Uncommons, I thought the uncommons would be a little bit closer to 35. So these were my price predictions. Let me see here, hold on. Not trying to where's OG vaults? Okay, so this was my... Whoops. No, it's kind of hard to see, but I'll just do it over here real quick. So this was my price prediction. Of course, you can't see it. Let me do this. There we go. So this is my price prediction of the Hulk 1 drop. So common, 55 gems. I know it's kind of hard to see. Uncommon, 35. Rare, 70. Ultra rare, 250. Secret rare, 1.5. Those are my predictions. I feel like the top end stuff is a little bit harder to determine, but I feel like the common and uncommons are pretty easy. The top end stuff, especially secret rares, because there's so few of them, it's hard to tell what those are actually going to go for. But all right, let's close this. The secret rare going for 14, ultra rare 190, basically 200. Rare going for 65. Okay, that's actually gone up a little bit. Uncommon 30. Common is going for 52, so. Someone should scoop the floor of the uncommons. Yeah, dude. I don't know what it is with the uncommons. Like, I get it, dude. Like these uncommons, I totally understand why people aren't scooping them. It's the original version, but it's black and white. And if you look at the cover of this, or at least like the uncommon, like it's only Bruce Banner that's colored. Everything else is in black and white. I don't know, like are people gonna value the original comic cover more? Like there's nothing more clear than the like rarity versus original, right? Like uncommon is obviously better rarity, right? 6,000 mints versus 2,000 mints. The uncommon is usually 1/3 the rare of the commons, but the commons are the original cover, fully colored, looks exactly like the original cover. But do people value scarcity more than rarity? Or are people gonna want both or whatever? It's hard to tell. I know My Collectibles has put a lot of gems into the uncommons and stacking those because, quite frankly, you can get almost 2 uncommons for the price of 1 common at this point. And it's one of those things where it's like, all right, would you rather own 30 common AF-15s or 50 uncommon AF-15s? Right? It's hard to determine. We just won't know until more quite frankly, we just won't know until more comic people get on the platform. You can't go wrong with the commons. Uncommons though might be better dollar for dollar, but it's really hard to like not go wrong with just getting commons. That's the original cover. Who do you think the special guest is during the veve San Diego or during the San Diego veve party? I think it's either Alfred Kahn. It's either Alfred Kahn, because we haven't really seen him, right? Seen him around, hanging around, whatever. So it's either Alfred Kahn or, dude, that's a tough one. And when they say guest, or it could be like a completely new IP. I'm not entirely sure. Like veve's like very like secretive or very like they say stuff and it's like in half truths or whatever. It's hard to describe, but I would say because we haven't seen much of Alfred Kahn, right? Like he hasn't been to an event. We haven't seen him. Like the veve fan hasn't seen him. Dude, I don't know. I would just try to think like who the other like person. I'm thinking like a person more than like an IP too. Alfred Cotter, like Jeremy Padua or whoever. I have no idea, to be quite frank. I'm also trying to think of like whether it's relevant to like comics, Comic-Con, San Diego, Marvel, like I don't know, it could be like an actor from like the Marvel movies. Like, I don't know, who's could be someone like random, I don't know. Like Oscar Isaac or something like that. Who knows? It could be actually like an actual celebrity that believes in like Web3 NFTs, and they're there to like make a guest appearance and say hi and like promote veve. Who knows? I don't know. So my thing is going to be either the uncommon isn't bad for the Hulk since he's gray anyway. Yeah, exactly. It's like he's gray anyway. Who cares? In my opinion, the rares, so Miles Morales are the ugliest ones. Yeah, there's some really good looking rares though. Rather own 30 commons, it's the real actual cover and will always do much better in the long run. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Big A. I don't think you can go wrong with either, but I would probably tend to agree with you that commons might perform a bit better. Dr. Prophet for special guest. I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know if they would hype Dr. Prophet up that much though. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if they would hype him up that much. Regardless, what was someone says up earlier? Okay. Oh yeah. Rare covers. There's actually a very few amount of rare covers, comic-wise, that I really like. Miles Morales is number one, in my opinion. But there's a handful of rare covers that are unique, and that I actually like a lot more than some of the other covers. I think Miles Morales is kind of the only one for rare. I do like Gwen Stacy. Uncanny X-Men number 4 looks alright with Cyclops. Bro, they made Mary Jane look freaking built in the Spider-Man 42. Dude, she looks like a unit in that one. I do like Strange Academy. That's a unique looking cover, like the different books with like different like eldritch like wings and tendrils and all that stuff kind of coming out. I do like the Strange Academy cover. There's like a couple of like rare covers I actually like more than other. Of course, X-Men 308. I think this happened during Thanksgiving. Just it has all the villains. Mr. Sinister, Magneto, Juggernaut, Phoenix, Sabretooth. Oh my god. There's Emma Frost, Mystique, and I forgot this dude's name with the red hair. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one too. Go back. Dude, I think if I had to pick one comic, what the hell? If I had to pick one comic that had the best looking comics overall, like from like common all the way to uncommon, it would be Silver Surfer Black. They have the most unique looking like covers. Like each one's unique. Each one looks awesome. Like this, okay, so Silver Surfer. Let's see if this works. All right. I'll just do black. I think black will do it. Maybe not. Number 1. Whatever. Anyway, Silver Surfer Black. That cover, the comic cover looks okay. But bro, that like rare, the ultra rare, the secret rare, and the uncommon cover. They're all unique. They all look different. They all look awesome. I love the art on all 5. If someone had to ask me like what's the best looking art from like common to like secret rare, it would be Silver Surfer Black. Like all 5 of these look awesome. Maybe it's the face of the gaming studio. Maybe. Mortal Hulk #1, Fallout #4, Miles, and Fallout 4, Miles Morales, 2 best rare covers. Special guest is someone who's a surprise. Alfred Khan is already expected. Okay. I think Kraven the Hunter rare is good. I like that one a lot too. I actually like that one a lot as well. It's like Spider-Man number... It's like a number 3? This one, yes. Spider-Man, this one. Dude, this one looks sick. I like this one a lot. Kraven just looks insane in that picture. And then, yeah, there's some decent looking rare covers. Rare comics. Yeah, I do like some of the, there's a lot of good rares on the app. Not too many. Actually, there's like the unique looking rares, I think look very good. Yeah, Miles Morales looks great. FA Carnage looks pretty good too, which is Spider-Man like kicking, full black background, like Cyclops. Immortal Hulk. You said Immortal Hulk #1, right? So this one? Yeah, I like this one too. This one looks pretty cool. It's a unique cover. It's Strange Academy #1. That's another unique looking cover that I enjoy a lot. I actually do like Avengers #47, first appearance of Black Knight. That one actually looks pretty cool too. This one. I really like the like green, red, and like white. Like the white off the sword and like the highlight up here, the red and the green. Like it looks really, really cool. Yeah, so there's some cool rares. So if you guys don't have, I mean, like Strange Academy apparently is going for less than 14. I mean, Avengers 40 first appearance of Black Knight is going less than 9 right now. Pretty cheap for some cool looking rare covers. Cool. Yeah, Raven's or the reflection of Kraven is cool for the black and white, so I agree. But cool, guys. Unless you guys have any other questions or anything like that, I mean, we've been streaming to time flew today. We've been streaming for about 3 hours now. Time completely flew today. So I really appreciate it. So unless you guys have any other like questions or just like want to shoot the shit about something, I'm actually gonna bounce out of here pretty soon. I'd keep a close eye on Hulk. Hulk, there was over 1,000 mints on market, or say over 1,000 on market. Now there's less, and it does seem like people are either buying it up or delisting or whatever's going on. So it's kind of curious how what's so 3 more hours. Yeah, sure, why not? 3 more hours. I'm starting to get a little bit tired myself. Plus I want to, sun's only going to be up for probably another like 2 or 3 hours here in Arizona, at least like by the pool. So I do want to kind of get some sun today. Yeah, dude, these comics are going down pretty quickly. This was at 1,000 on the market 20 minutes ago. Now there's 988. Like if this trend continues, we'll be at less than 800 before the end of the day, and then less than probably 700 in a couple, like 2 or 3 days. And so prices could move. Just kind of keep an eye on it. I'm not telling you guys to buy it, but keep an eye on it. Red Hole back up to 130? Really? Yeah, he's moving. He was at 107 earlier today. It was not earlier today, I should say yesterday. Apparently, like early yesterday, he was at 107. Now he's already moved up 130. I mean, it's a cool looking collectible. I mean, I really like the collectible. Where like roars, he gets on fire and all that stuff. Like, it's a really, really cool looking collectible. What's Boo's Door doing? Probably like 117. All right, 118 or 119. Yeah, I didn't land that one. People are just dumping Nemo right now because you don't have to burn it for the poster. Hulk is still moving up, or at least I need another AF-15, bro. I don't even have one. I need to get one. I don't have one. I'm kind of being a bit of a, not even a cheapskate, but it's just like, I really think the collectibles and comics are going to pull back a little bit more before they pump again. I have zero, so I need to get one. I'm just going to buy a common. I could easily afford a common or an uncommon right now, but I do think the price will pull back a bit more. Just want to make sure I get a good price for the most part. But all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. It's 4:05 right now. Been streaming for 3 hours. LBM Bats, Jeff, Big A, Zombie Attack News, everyone else, thank you so much for hanging out and on my birthday. Birthday was 3 days ago, so I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys next time. Are you guys going to, actually, really quick, are you guys going for the panda drop tomorrow? I'm not going for it personally. And what's surprising is actually it's still not even on this page yet. Because isn't the Kung Fu Panda supposed to be on this page? Like on the store page by now? I mean, that drop is in less than 24 hours and it's still not even on the page. Thanks for the stream vibes. Happy belated. Yeah, of course. I'm skipping it, to be honest. With 4,000 instruments, I don't know if it's going to do that well. I'll show you guys really quick. Really quick, I'll show you guys. The animation looks awesome, but I'm not too keen on the mint numbers. Yeah, it's just shy of 4,000. So let's just say 3,600 because they're going to withhold X amount, or like 3,800. Too many mints. 8.5% fee. Animation looks cool. Here's what it looks like if you guys haven't seen it. He does like a scissor kick animation like in the air. His arms just looks, I don't know what it is, but you guys notice his arms? Like during the animation, we'll get like huge, small, huge, small. It just like looks kind of awkward. Look at it again. It just seems a bit off. Right? I don't know what it is. I'm not trying to flood the drop. I'm just merely observing. It just looks a bit weird that his arms get like huge and small and then huge, like as he's doing like the animations for the kicks. I don't know. Now I think enough people are into Kung Fu Panda. I agree. I was barbecuing, lost track of time. Watch stream and all got burned. Oh no. McDonald's is? Dude, sorry about that. Dude, get some filet of fish. It's a filet of fish. Unless they announce an airdrop with it, I'll just go for it to just flip it. Yeah, I don't even think it's going to sell out. I think maybe a third will sell, to be quite frank. So there was 3,800. I think about 1,200 will sell in the market, and then the rest will just not sell. Like, there's just too much going on with like the Hulk comic, the potential burn mechanic of the not the potential, but the potential announcement soon of the new Hulk drop, the doors happening. Like, there's too much going on, I think, for Kung Fu Panda to do well, to be honest. But we'll see. So cool, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Pot Under the Sun. Good luck with the McDonald's.